Smooth versus Mora. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Mr. Smooth, Miss
Yes,
Mora is your former girlfriend. You had a big fight. You threw each other's property in the mud, and then you claim she hit you in the face and assaulted you, and you're suing her for that assault.
Yeah, for the punitive damages.
And punitive damages.
Yeah.
Going to get to that in a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
How long was she your girlfriend?
Around 8 months.
And when did she stop being your girlfriend?
January 26th.
Is that the date of this incident?
Yes, ma'am. Well,
So-
we were never actually together, but we were dating.
What does that mean?
It means that we hadn't committed to one another as far as, are you going to be my girlfriend? Yes. Are you going to be my boyfriend? Yes. We didn't do any of that. We were just dating, going out, spending time with each other.
You weren't intimate or anything.
Yes, we were. But
It was a lot deeper than that. He's downplaying it a little bit.
Well, for you, maybe. Not for him. Listen.
Okay.
I just trying to get the vernacular of what's au courant.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, ma'am.
You were just dating, no commitment. But that doesn't mean that you're not intimate, because that's like just going out for a pizza.
No. No, ma'am.
All right. What was this argument about on the 26th of January?
Well, the morning of the argument, she had took my cell phone and went through the numbers and started contacting people on my cell phone.
The mornings. Does that mean you spent the night together?
Yes,
Where?
at my house.
She slept over at your house, and I assume she occupied the same room.
Yes, ma'am.
So while you were showering or something, she grabs your cell phone
Yes, ma'am.
and started going through the numbers.
Yes.
Sounds right to me. And what'd she find?
She came across the numbers of some friends of mine, and she...
Female friends.
Yes, ma'am. And she contacted them. And I guess when she spoke to them, she didn't hear what she wanted to hear, so she got angry at me.
Why is it that I don't have a whole bunch of sympathy for him so far?
I'm with you.
You don't have sympathy from Bert either. Then you know what that means? That means so far you're in trouble.
Okay.
But continue. Maybe you'll get there.
Well,
You look like a nice enough young man.
Yes, I am.
I'm sure you are.
After that, she took my cell phone and she refused to give it back to me. So she went outside to warm up her truck because she was going to leave. And at that time, I went outside to talk to her about getting my cell phone back, and she wouldn't give it to me. So I reached in her truck and I took the keys out the ignition. And I have a daughter, so I need to go pick my daughter up from the babysitter. So I left with the keys of her truck with me to go pick up my daughter. When I returned home, I had about 3 outfits that she bought me in the mud in front of my house, and she was gone.
Miss Moore, did you take his clothes and throw them in the mud?
Yes, ma'am, but they were all clothes that I purchased for him.
Listen to me, Miss Moore, that doesn't make any difference.
All right.
You made him a gift, bought him clothes, he had a little fit, you took his clothes and you threw them in the mud. So what did you do?
So when I returned home and she's gone, I proceeded to take her truck that I had the keys to and move it around to the back of the house. So when she came back, she couldn't see her truck. She wanted to know what had happened to it. And I said, when you give me my phone, I will give you your truck. My brother arranged a swap of the keys and the phone, and she would leave the property.
Got the keys, showed her where the truck was.
She walked around the back to get her truck, and I went in the house and got her purse. And on the way outside, I slung her purse in the mud.
And what did she do when you threw her purse in the mud?
She attacked me.
How did she attack you?
She attacked me with arms flaring and no control.
Do you have any photographs of your
Yes,
injuries?
ma'am.
I'd like to see them, please. Did you hit her back?
No, ma'am.
Smart.
I would never do
Really
anything
smart.
like that. Not to mention that this is 2 months after I got shot and almost lost my life, and she still thought
Who
it'd
shot
be
you?
right.
Shh, don't look at her. Look at me. Who shot you?
I was a victim of violent crime. I don't know who shot me. I had surgery on my stomach, 8 hours. I'm trying to rehab from that, and
Okay, so Mr. Smooth,
yes, ma'am.
you were messing around while you had a girlfriend. She thought she was your girlfriend.
She
anyway.
thought I was messing around.
Yeah, well, she thought so, and she had the cell phone, and she had the numbers. I have to assume that you were not involved in a monogamous relationship with the defendant, which means she wasn't the only one. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. She got angry. She took your cell phone. You have no right to do that. It's his property. Take it. You're stealing it. You went in and you grabbed her car keys. You're not allowed to do that.
Right.
Then she left, and you went to pick up your
My
daughter.
daughter.
You come back, and you find your clothes in the mud. She comes back. You've moved her truck in the back just to annoy her, and you were successful.
Yes.
Then you take her good pocketbook, and you throw it in the mud. However, madam, that does not give you license to pick up your hands and to strike him and to scratch his face and to act like an alley cat. Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
You are one lucky girl that he didn't have you arrested. Why didn't you have her arrested?
Because I do not dislike Siobhan.
Outrageous behavior.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Says, ex-girlfriend Siobhan Moore scratched his face during an argument.
Oh, you had some scratches and they were treated. You didn't go to the hospital or a doctor, did you?
No, ma'am.
I didn't think so. All right, so you were a little morally wrong, then 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 you got physical. Right? Unacceptable behavior.
Right.
You had no physical injury other than a few scratches on your face. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He wasn't telling the whole story, but oh well.
The proof is in the pudding. I had all the paperwork, the pictures, and I mean, those don't lie.
There wasn't a commitment of us being boyfriend and girlfriend, but monogamy was supposed to be practiced in our friendship.
I feel that we had a lot of good times together, and it was good while it lasted.
We're friends, kinda.
Her provider, Julia Benjamin, and her husband, police officer Michael Benjamin, are suing Julia's aunt, child care provider Elsie Love, for the return of their dog, Fluffy. Elsie says Fluffy is hers.
Mrs. Benjamin, is this your aunt?
Yes.
And you're her husband?
Yes.
According to what I've read, it is your claim that you loaned this dog to your aunt. Now you want the dog back. She says you can't have the dog back because this was not a loan. You gave her the dog. And this is all about another issue that is probably much more important, which has to do with the custody of your daughter, who was, for most of her life, raised by your aunt. And you just regained custody of her. Is that right?
No, that's not right, Your Honor.
Well, let me get to this part of it's not really a defense, but it's sort of a motive. You were on good relations with your aunt?
Yes, for the most part, yes.
Good. And how many children do you have?
5.
Which child lived with you for 6 years?
The third,
What's the child's name?
Maisha.
How old is Maisha?
Maisha's 10 now,
How old was she when she came to you?
4 months old,
And how long did she stay with you?
8 years.
Was she placed with you by the courts?
She was given to me through her mother.
How come?
Her mother had a drug problem.
So Mrs. Benjamin gave you Maisha. Courts had nothing to do with it?
The courts had nothing to do with it.
Where were her other 4 children?
She only had 3 then. The 2 oldest children were with her aunt, and Maisha was with me.
So far, is that right?
For the most part.
Good. And when was Maisha returned to her mother?
In 2001.
Was that voluntary on your part, or did a court order that return?
The court ordered it with stipulations.
And the stipulation was involving visitation. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
Do you currently have visitation with Maisha?
I have visitation with Maisha on the weekends that I have her. I have visitations from after school until 8 o'clock on Sunday night.
So you have her for weekends, certain weekends?
Yeah, every other weekend.
Now I want you to tell me about the dog. You're up.
First of all,
Not you. Her.
okay, I asked my aunt. I had a breakout at my daycare center. I'm a family daycare provider. And
Since when have you been a family daycare provider?
since 96,
In what state?
New Jersey.
When did you complete a drug program?
I didn't complete a drug program. I didn't have to. I got clean on my own.
Well, then why did you leave your child with your aunt for 8 years?
Can I address the things that she said?
Well, your child was with your aunt for 8 years. That's
My
true.
child was with my aunt. I asked my aunt to care for her because I knew that I couldn't at the time. I did not abandon my child.
I didn't ask you
I did
any of
not
that.
give my child away.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. You had a drug problem. So if you didn't go into a program, when did you stop using drugs? In what year?
I stopped using drugs in '95.
And your child remained with your aunt until 2001. Is that right?
That's right.
And what about your other 2 children? How long did they stay with their other aunt?
Until '96.
And is Mr. Benjamin the father of all 3 of these children?
No,
Is he the father of any of them?
the last 2.
And you were granted a license to take care of children a year after you got clean from drugs?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get back to the dog.
Your Honor, can I?
Let's get back to the dog. When did you give your aunt the dog?
I didn't give my aunt the dog. I asked her to care for the dog in November until we moved.
Okay. And at what stage were the court proceedings in November of 2002 involving your aunt's visitation with Maisha? Were there court proceedings pending?
No, there wasn't.
Were there court proceedings after November of 2002 involving your aunt and visitation?
Yes, in January.
January what?
31st.
So I assume that you were contesting your aunt having extensive visitation with Maisha.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
When did you ask for the dog back?
My husband asked for the dog back.
Tell me when you did that, sir.
January 31st.
When you were in court?
No.
When you were outside of court?
Yes.
So you came outside of court after the case was adjourned, and you had this court proceeding that said that this was not going to be easy. And you found her in her car?
No.
Where did you find her?
I didn't find her at all. When I left out of the court, we seen her friend in the vehicle.
And?
So I stated to him that I will be coming over to get Fluffy later on. Now, can I say this? Me and this gentleman has made communication in reference to Fluffy on several occasions. He is aware that I did state to him that at any given time when my 2 daughters, whom I bought the dog for, would continue to pester me about they wanted their dog home, that I would be coming to pick up the dog, and he agreed. And the reason why...
Get your kids another dog.
Your Honor.
Get your kids another dog.
Hold on.
You walk out of court in a court proceeding where you are clearly losing. You're clearly losing because the judge is going to adjourn the case until February. And you don't want Maisha to have to be bothered with visitation with the person who raised her.
Not true. That's
From the
not
time
true.
she's 4 months old, quiet.
Quiet.
Quiet until she's 8. And now there's a visitation proceeding pending. And Mr. Wonderful over here at that time says, we're coming over to get our dog. You gave her the dog in November. November comes and goes, no word. December comes and goes, no word. January comes and goes. That's according to Mr. Benjamin, who is the owner of the dog.
Well, first of all, I didn't finish saying.
I'm speaking.
But I need to be able to say something else, though.
I'm going to let you speak.
Okay.
So 3 months go by, January 31st, at a time when you're coming out of court and you're losing. Then you say to him, and I'm coming over to get my Fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
right.
you said.
Yes, I did.
Good. Now
Yes,
I'm going to hear everything that you have to say.
Okay, when Fluffy was given to her aunt by my wife, I really wasn't in agreement with that. I did voice my concern because I did call over to her aunts. I did voice to her how I felt about Fluffy, how my 2 daughters felt about Fluffy, and that really we weren't happy that Fluffy was with her. But at the same time, you know, if we could just come and visit Fluffy when we wanted to, and if she can bring Fluffy when she picks up Maisha so that he would continue to see us, then I was fine with that. And she agreed. And so therefore, actually, the dog was only brought to my home on one occasion by her boyfriend.
Are we finished now?
No, I'm not. And so actually, he never brought the dog again, so I made several phone calls and talked to the dog on the phone. And that was my only communication with the dog.
Did the dog answer you when they talked to
Well,
you?
basically, I asked for a response from Maisha, who was there, and she said that he did the normal. He would wag his tail, and in other words, he identified my voice.
Perfect.
Your Honor.
Yeah. Now, just a second. I want to be, you know, my middle name is Fair.
Sure.
So I want to be totally fair. Are you finished?
Am I finished?
Yes.
Well, not really.
Listen, Mr. Benjamin, I want you to be finished, sir, before I let Mrs. Benjamin speak.
Well, one of the things I want to say is the aunt had been communicating through my wife, and I had been communicating through her boyfriend. For some reason, the aunt never communicated with me, and probably that's because she knows that she can't say anything to me, and I'm just going to say yes or whatever. But it's going to be a fully understood discussion about whatever the situation is so that we both could be on the same page, and that never happened.
Are we finished now?
Okay, yeah, I'm finished from that point on, yes.
Mark that down. He's finished.
So noted.
Mrs. Benjamin, I'm ready to hear you.
Yes, Your Honor. When I asked my aunt to care for my daughter, I got off of drugs a year after that. It took me an additional year to find housing. When I found housing in 1995, I began asking her to let my daughter come home. She told me no. She needed more time. She was attached. Please don't do this. This is going to kill me. That went on for 4 years. Out of sympathy for her feelings, my daughter stayed there. Any family member?
What? Miss Benjamin, Miss Benjamin, you're getting yourself in a very bad spot
I
right
never
now.
wanted to go to court.
I wanted to explain something. You're getting yourself into a very bad spot with me and with everybody else who has ever had a child out there. Because if what you said was you let your child live with your aunt because you felt sorry for your aunt.
That's not what I'm saying.
Then you know how to find the courthouse. If what you're telling me is that you were clean within a year and you let your child stay there because you didn't know what else to do, I don't buy it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Let's get to the dog.
Okay. Well,
All right, because there is no excuse. If what you're telling me is you were
my
clean,
daughter could have been home. She didn't want to give her back.
Then you got to.
She never wanted to give her back.
Miss Benjamin,
that's why we went to court.
Mrs.
She
Benjamin,
doesn't want to give
are
the
you
dog
listening
back.
to me? My mouth is moving.
Okay.
My mouth is moving. If you're a mother, and you wake up in the morning and you go into the child's bedroom and the child isn't there.
You know,
will you listen to me carefully?
Much.
Then you walk inside to the courthouse and you say, I want my child back.
You know what?
Let's
God
get to
knows.
the dog. Let's get to the dog.
God knows, God knows, God knows, God knows, God
Let's
knows.
get to the
He's
dog.
the ultimate judge.
Let's get to the
He's
dog.
the ultimate judge. I didn't even want to come here.
Good.
I didn't even want to come
Good.
here.
Perfect. Case is dismissed. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
I didn't even want to come here.
Keep the dog.
Step out.
I kept this dog. I trained this dog.
God still has the glory, and I just want to say that.
It needs affection. I gave the dog affection just like I gave her a child.
I want to say this. I've been clean. God delivered me. He set me free.
The whole issue is about Maisha, and since they lost the court case, then they went after the dog.
Finance manager Diana Brew is suing her neighbor, homemaker Kathleen Silverberg, for the cost of a bike and harassment. Diana claims Kathleen's boys pick on her son.
Quiet in the courtroom, please. Yeah, this is case number 171 on the calendar in the matter of Brew versus Silverberg. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young men, have seats, please.
Mrs. Brew, according to what I read here, it is your claim that Miss Silverberg's son, one of her sons, would that be you? How'd I know that? One of Miss Silverberg's sons has been harassing your son and damaged his bike.
Correct.
And after he damaged the bike, he said to him, give me the brakes off of your bike, because I need them for my bike.
That was another son.
Which son did that?
Brian, the middle
Which
son.
one's Brian? That's you. So after the big one...
The little one, Mark, did the actual damage of the bike.
What did this one do?
He damaged a first bike.
And then the little one damaged the second bike?
Yes, that we bought to replace the first one.
And this one came and took the brakes?
Yes.
Stand up here, all three of you. All three of you, come on. What's your name?
Tom.
How old are you, Tom?
13.
You pick on him?
Yes.
Why?
Because I really don't like him.
You didn't like him, why?
Because he acted kind of weird and,
So he's weird?
Yeah.
Tell me, did he ever do anything weird to you, Tom? Or he just acts weird?
Yeah, he acts really weird.
Give me an example of how he acts weird, Tom.
He keeps saying stuff about abducting little kids, like my brother right here.
Like, what did he say?
He says, I'm going to abduct your little brother, and then he starts taunting me, so I chase him away.
Tell me how he's taunting you.
He starts, like, riding off toward the direction where he was last seen playing or something like that on his bike.
Now, what did you do to his bicycle? Look at me. What did you do to his bicycle? The first one that he had.
That was not me. That was a kid named Brandon.
But you were there.
Yeah.
So you must have seen it.
Yeah.
Well, tell me what this kid did to the bicycle.
Well, it really all started out that we were all playing a game called Bumper Cars on Bikes, where you just run around running into each other with bikes. And in the end, it ended up that the tire couldn't really move very well. So
Whose tire?
the tire on the bike that Brandon was riding, that was his bike. Or supposedly his bike.
Why was Brandon riding his bike?
Because Devin said he could have it.
Is that right?
No.
Did they just take it from you?
I let...
Stand up. Go ahead.
I let Brandon borrow it so he could go get water at Dairy Queen. And then when I was coming over to see what they were doing, Brandon was jumping on it, and I said, get off the bike, and they all ran away. And then his brother came over, and we looked at the bike, and they took off the front wheel.
Who took off the front wheel?
Brandon did. And first thing they did to the bike, they picked it up by the chain and swung it around. And then they...
Who did that?
Brandon did.
So Brandon did. I don't hear he doing anything. Look at me. Miss Brew, don't speak to him. I'm speaking to him. So far I didn't hear that he did anything.
Right. He didn't do anything.
He didn't?
No. Brandon was the one who really did it. I saw Brandon with my own eyes.
Now, what happened with the second bike?
I was riding my bike, and then I stopped to talk to my friend Lewis, and then Mark came riding up on Brian's bike, and he kept ramming it into the frame.
Mark?
Yeah.
Raise your hand, Mark. How old are you, Mark?
7.
Why were you ramming into his bicycle, Mark?
I wasn't.
Who was?
Nobody.
Nobody. You never rammed into his bicycle?
No.
He says he didn't.
He did, because I saw, and he kept riding up really fast, and then he kept hitting the frame, and I told him to stop a couple times, and he wouldn't.
And then what happened?
And then it got bent, it pushed in, and Lewis said he could fix it, but I told my mom, and she said no.
And then what happened with the brakes?
Well, Brian came over.
Who's Brian? When?
2 days or 3 days after it happened, and then he said, I wanted to know if I could look at your brakes and see what happened. And I told him that his brother rammed into my frame and bent it, and he said, can I have your brakes? And I said no, and I said no again after he said the same question. And he used a tool, and then he got off the brakes, and then...
Why didn't you push him away? You're bigger than he is.
I tried. I said no to him 5 times.
I don't believe you. He had to get off his bike, get the tools, work on the brakes, take the brakes off, and during that time you go into your mother and you say, somebody's stealing the brakes off my bike.
My mom was at work that day.
Who was home?
No one was.
My sister is next door.
Yeah.
So why didn't you go next door?
Well, she wasn't home when I was going over to tell her.
What happened with the brakes? Look at me.
I came over to his house. Something was wrong with his bike. He asked me if I would work on it. I messed around with it a little bit, adjusting the wheel back and forth. And I go, oh, I found the problem. Your brakes are rubbing, so your bike slows down every time the wheel or the rim bends. And he goes, oh, and I go, can I have your brakes? And
why would you want his brakes?
Because the bike that I had at that time needed the same type of brakes that he had.
Well, why would you ask him for his brakes if all his brakes had to do was be fixed?
It wasn't the brakes, it was the back rim.
Did he tell you how the rim got bent?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said that Mark ran into it multiple times with my bike.
Right.
So I said...
Did you believe him when he said that to you?
Sort of yes and sort of no.
What does that mean, sort of yes and sort of no?
Because sometimes he lies about what my little brother does, and sometimes he tells the truth.
So you wanted the brakes, and you just said, so give me the brakes. They don't work on your bike, give them to me.
No, I said, could I please have your brakes? He didn't answer me the first time. I said it the second time, he didn't answer. The third time, he says, okay. So I took him off his bike and put him on mine. I rode around in the alley for a couple of minutes. And I go, I'm going to go to my friend's house. He goes, okay. And I just rode over to my friend's house. And then I came back like 5 or 6 hours later, and I found out from my mom that he said that I had walked into his backyard and stolen the brakes.
You did?
No.
Yeah, you did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Neighbor Kathleen Silverberg's sons terrorize her boy. She is suing for the cost of her son's damaged bike.
You and your brothers, for some reason, are torturing this young man. I don't know why. Because I don't believe you. Do you understand, young man? I don't believe that you didn't hit his bike. I believe you did that, and I believe you're fibbing to me. Do we understand each other? And just because your brother over here can be a bully doesn't mean that you can be a bully. Do you understand? Now, if he asked you to come by and fix his bike, what kind of nice person goes over and says, well, I can't fix your bike, but I need brakes just like yours. Can I have them? As long as my brother bent your bike out of shape, give me the brakes. I need them for me. You better have a talk with your boys.
I have been.
Well, you're evidently not getting through to them.
But Devin even admitted in front of another adult to me that he lied to his mother about the brakes, that he had given them to Brian.
Your sons are torturing him. Do you understand it?
Yes, and he tortures my sons.
See how many there are there?
Yes.
You see, over here?
Yes.
This one doesn't like him because he's weird. Your two younger sons take their cue from Tom. What?
Oh, would you like anyone very much if they said they were going to go abduct your little brother?
I wouldn't hurt their bicycle. I would stay away from them. And I would say to them, I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore.
I tried to.
No, you don't. He didn't. He went over to take his brakes off the bike that your little brother had destroyed. And why do you think that they have license to do that, the two little ones? They take their clue from you. Because if somebody isn't being normal, then you stay away from them. You don't take their property. You don't damage their property. You understand? Do you ever hear your older brother talk about him?
Yeah.
What does he say about him?
He says that he's a crackhead, a D-head.
So he says a lot of not nice things about him. You see where it's all coming from?
Yes, but I'm also aware of the fact that he goes around and calls my kids the same name.
In retaliation.
Not when he takes a 7-year-old's bike and hangs it on a 6-foot security fence where the 7-year-old cannot get it. And that's all because he was mad because Brian was not home that day.
Was the bike damaged?
Yeah, the chain broke.
Was it fixed?
Yes, we have.
Where are the brakes for his bicycle?
Brian gave them back to Devin.
Do you have them back?
Torn apart and damaged.
What?
They were not torn apart when Brian took them off the bike. I know because I saw him do it. They were in perfectly good condition. They could have been replaced on the bike, but Devin wouldn't let him near the bike to do so.
Okay, did you take the bike in to have it fixed?
No.
Did I put new brakes on the bike?
No, I hadn't even had the chance. When
Well,
he
then
came
you
and
should
did
have the
that.
chance to do it. How much did you pay for the bike?
$65 on sale.
I think you ought to take the bike and have it fixed, and I think you could probably have it fixed for $25, which is what I'm awarding you at a judgment, not the $1,500 that you're asking for. I would suggest you stay away from each other. Did you hang up his bike on a chain link fence?
No.
You didn't? So we couldn't reach it?
It was like a short fence, not a high one.
You can't do that, young man. But you 3 boys have to leave him alone. If he's weird, stay away from him. Period. And they don't want to play with you anymore. Find somebody else to play with.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $25. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Devin is the kind of person that wants to be friends with everybody.
He pushed me down. He made me hit my head on the cement.
He was calling me names and I didn't like it. And it hurt my feelings. That's what made me angry.
He hates me.
Year-old vendor representative Christopher Tebow is suing his former friend, 22-year-old waitress Joanne Cody, for an unpaid loan to bail her ex-boyfriend out of jail. Joanne says it's her ex who owes.
Mr. Tebow, it is your claim that you made a loan to the defendant in the amount of, I believe, $800?
Yes.
The loan was in order for her to secure the release of her then-boyfriend who was incarcerated. Boyfriend's name was?
Daniel Norman.
Daniel. Ms. Cody says that she did, in fact, take $800 from you for the bail.
Yes.
But there was never a loan because she never made an agreement to repay you. Is that right?
Correct. Daniel agreed to repay him once we bailed him out of jail.
All right. Who is this?
That's Dan Norman.
Daniel. I assume you're not together anymore.
No.
Stand up for a second. Just some preliminary questions. Daniel, you have a last name.
Norman.
What were you in jail for?
Myself and a friend of mine broke into a car and took the radio out.
Were you convicted of that charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you receive a jail sentence or were you placed on probation?
Probation.
Now, did you live in one state and
Yes.
were arrested in a different state?
Correct.
Okay. Where did you steal this car? In what state?
Connecticut.
And where do you live?
Massachusetts.
Didn't they have cars in Massachusetts, Daniel?
Yes.
Now, I say that because you were a Massachusetts resident and were arrested in Connecticut, your bail was higher.
Correct.
So in the future, you understand where you have to do business.
Not at all, Your Honor.
Right? Now, who was the first person you called?
I called my grandparents.
And they could not help you with any money?
No.
Had you been arrested before in Massachusetts, Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
For what?
Operating on a suspended license.
What else?
In Massachusetts, I believe there's many operating on a suspended along motor vehicle lines.
So your grandparents had it?
Correct.
Who did you call?
I didn't call anybody.
How did you get bailed out?
There was a friend that was with me.
Yes?
He got bailed out by his girlfriend, and he called around a couple of my friends to try to put together some money for me.
You didn't make any phone calls?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I was only allowed one.
Okay. This lady is...
Joanne's mother, Elfrida Cody. It's not true. Marion from the court there called up our house and asked Joanne if Joanne could bail him out and loan him $350.
Who called you from the court?
Marion, and a girl named by Marion.
Who's Marion?
I believe she was worked in the public defender's office.
Ah. Daniel, when I ask you if you called and you say, I never called, if you gave her telephone number to the public defender who was handling your case, I consider that you calling.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you give the public defender Miss Cody's telephone number?
I did, Your Honor.
So when you were contacted by the public defender, what did you say?
I said, what are you calling in reference to? And she explained to me, Daniel Norman's been arrested. And I said, how much is his bail? She said, $350. And when I got to Hartford where he is arrested, they told me it was going to be more money because of the fact that he was a Massachusetts resident.
So now we have that cleared up. Daniel.
Yes, ma'am.
May I say something else?
Sure, you've been doing well so far.
They were boy and girlfriends.
I figured that.
Because one time they went out, she had too much to drink, and he put her in the shower. Because I know his new car.
That was a little more information than I need. Now you think.
Christopher Tebow says his former friend, Joanne Cody, owes for a loan to bail her ex-boyfriend out of jail. Joanne says the person who owes is standing next to Christopher.
So when you found out you needed more money, what did you do?
I had $1,300 in my savings account. Chris had called me and I was crying and he asked what was the matter. And I said, you know, Dan did something stupid again where he's involved with the cops and it's going to be $2,100 to get him out. I only have $1,300. And he said, I can help and give $800 towards it. And I said, fine. And when we got him out, Dan told him, I will pay you back. Because I feel, why should I have to pay him back when Dan owes me $700 from putting his car back on the road for him?
Who put whose car back on the road?
I loaned Dan $700 to put his car back on the road. So when I got the bail check back from Connecticut, I felt I didn't have to pay because, one, Dan was supposed to take care of this $800.
You see, Miss Cody, what I didn't understand was your math. You put in $1,300, correct?
Correct.
But you got back $1,750.
Yes.
So there's an extra $450, right?
Right.
Why should you be able to keep that?
Because Dan said he was going to pay Chris back the $800, and I put Dan's car back on the road for $700. So
That's a different lawsuit. If you claim a loan to him for something else, sue him. But if you only put in $1,300, you can't keep all that money, that $450. That's unreasonable. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, I see immediately that she's got to give you $450 because she can't make a profit on his jail.
Right.
But why don't you sue him for the other $350?
Because the initial agreement was she could pay me back as soon as she could.
Well, let me ask you this, sir. Who did you come to court with today?
Daniel.
What about dinner last night? Who did you have dinner with?
Daniel.
Who did you have dinner with?
My mother.
Are you following where I'm going?
Yes.
Why don't you pay him back some of the money that he laid out to get you out of jail?
Because the agreement, when I...
Why don't you pay him back some of the money he laid out while you were in jail?
Because Miss Cody already received that collateral money back.
She only received part of it back.
Correct, and I was to pay her the extra $350 the bondsman keeps as a fee.
Did you pay her?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Why not?
because she hasn't contacted me at all. I have no idea where she is. This is the first time I've seen her.
She's whole now. She got her $1,300. The only one who's not whole now is your buddy that you had dinner with last night.
Correct.
So why don't you pay him back? He's going to get $450 from Miss Cody, leaving a balance of $350. Who should pay that, Bird?
No, ma'am.
Me?
No, ma'am.
Her?
No, ma'am.
Who?
Myself.
Yes, sir! Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $450. You cannot profit. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused.
I'm just glad I don't have to deal with these two jerks behind me anymore.
I'm just glad I'm getting my money back. There was never an agreement for Dan to pay me back.
I haven't seen him in a year. I have to come and see him here. It just makes me sick.
I stopped talking to her because she was always lying to me and I was always catching her in lies.
He was my friend and we were dating and I was in love with him, so I couldn't bring myself to leave him in jail.
She called me up crying that he was in jail. And I just felt bad.
I should have just left him there.
He says 20-year-old Michael Plumley owes for the loss of value to his vehicle due to a drunk driving accident.
How much did you pay for this car, Mr. Bracey?
$58,000.
What did you go like this for? What does that mean? Somebody give it to you as a gift?
No, ma'am. I bought it.
You
I
bought
worked
it?
hard. I bought it.
And you paid $58,000 for it?
Yes, ma'am. It had a sticker price of $62,000.
You drove a hard bargain.
Not
Mr.
hard
Plumley, how old are you, sir?
20.
You work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Wash trucks, tractor and trailers.
You wash them?
Yes.
How long do you think you have to work to make $58,000?
It'd be an awful long time.
Long time. What kind of work do you do, Mr. Bracey?
I'm a commercial pilot.
So he works hard for his money, right? And because of your actions that day, his car does have diminished value because there was certain structural damage to the car as indicated by both his appraisal and your insurance company. And why should he have to suffer that loss? Fortunately, he wasn't hurt. That's the most important thing. But I understand why you're angry, because this young man was up all night doing the wrong thing, and you and your wife suffered a loss. You want to be fully compensated. I don't blame you. I think somewhere in between the $4,400, sir, and the $900, there is a reasoned amount. You agree with that?
Your Honor, I agree with what you're saying. However, I did see other appraisals of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't just two different opinions.
You have other appraisals?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll take a look at them.
Okay. As I said, I base my claim on that appraisal.
I know you do, sir, but that doesn't mean that I have to base my response on that appraisal. Sir, let me explain something to you. The general manager of Land Rover is not an expert witness. I accepted your appraiser because your appraiser has indicated that he has been certified as an expert witness in some 25 trials. I believe that you are giving me evidence that is credible. This is not credible evidence.
Your Honor, on the letter that their appraiser sent, it states that he did not see my car. He did not have the opportunity to see my car. He is basing this on never having seen it. He does have the accessories on my car incorrect. He does have the value incorrect of my car because he did not correctly assess the accessories.
Sir, without an expert witness who's able to sit here so that I can ask him questions, I have to rely on these two appraisals. The appraisal from the insurance company gave what you paid for the car, which was $58,000. They gave the retail value at the time, what they perceived as their Blue Book value. They came up with a formula. That's not this. Somewhere in between these two amounts is what I call aggravation money. You got your car fixed. In all probability, it's fixed to your satisfaction. You're still driving it. I assume you're still driving it, are you not?
I'm still driving it, but it's had to go back into the shop 3 times because of the frame damage.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. You have those bills?
No, ma'am, I do not.
I mean, that's continuous and ongoing. Instead of bringing me this, why don't you bring me that? $2,695.85 is right smack dab in the middle between what the insurance company says your loss was and what your appraisers say your loss of value is. That's right in the middle, and that's, Mr. Bracey, what I believe you're entitled to. You should, again, thank your lucky stars that neither you nor your wife were hurt and that Mr. Plumley was not killed, because despite the fact that it was his fault, you probably would have felt very, very badly. You have any other DUIs on your record?
No, ma'am.
You ever going to have one again?
No, I don't plan.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,695.85. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was compensated for what his vehicle was, repaired, and Basically, he got a plus by catching a little bit of extra money, you know?
When I go to sell it, I will lose in the neighborhood of $4,400.
It is running, and it is still in the same form that it was in before, you know, you even got in an accident.
I think the lesson for the defendant is don't drive drunk.
Yeah, I don't plan on having.
Commercial pilot James Bracey is suing 20-year-old truck driver Michael Plumley and his girlfriend, 20-year-old Savannah Taylor, for the loss of value to his vehicle. James says when a drunken Michael ran a red light, he smashed into him.
This is case number 129, Your Honor, in the matter of Bracey versus Plumley Taylor. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Bracey, you and Mr. Plumley were involved in an automobile accident.
That's correct.
When was that, sir?
December 14th, 2002.
From what I gather, ultimately, Mr. Plumley's insurance paid for the damage that was done to your car.
That's correct.
Miss Taylor was a passenger in Mr. Plumley's car. Mr. Plumley, on the evening of the accident, was arrested for driving while under the influence of alcohol. Is that right?
No, I was
or
actually...
were you ticketed?
Yeah, I was convicted of...
I didn't ask you what you were convicted of, Mr. Plumley. I asked you whether you were arrested or ticketed that night.
No, I went to the hospital.
Were you subsequently either arrested or ticketed?
Yes, I was.
For what?
For illegally consuming alcohol under the age of 21.
No. That is incorrect, Mr. Plumley. When I ask you a question, you have to give me the answer.
Okay.
You were given a ticket for what? I didn't ask you what you were ultimately convicted of, Mr.
Right.
Plumley. I asked you what you were given a ticket for.
DUI.
For DUI?
Yeah, but it's not actually a DUI. It was like...
No, what is it, an elephant?
No, it's under the age, drinking and driving, under the age of 21. It's under statute 18 in the Virginia laws.
Mr. Plumley, you were drunk that night.
No, I had like 1-2 beers.
Are you telling him what to say?
No, why?
Good. Say nothing until I speak to you. In any event, you had been drinking.
Yes, ma'am.
So your insurance company assumed the responsibility of paying for Mr. Bracey's damages.
Yes, ma'am.
Fortunately, Mr. Bracey wasn't hurt. You were. How long were you hospitalized?
3 days.
What kind of injuries did you have?
Just internal bruising.
You were lucky. What about you, Miss Taylor?
I just had a little cut in my ear, that's it.
Mr. Bracey's claim is that despite the fact that your insurance paid for the damages to his car, which was relatively new, lost value as a result of this accident, and you should pay for that loss of value. And that you, Miss Taylor, are also liable because you got into the car with someone who had been drinking. So that's why he's suing you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of that part of his lawsuit very fast. The case against you is dismissed on my own motion. You can sit down.
All right.
You have no case against her. I don't know if you have a case against Mr. Plumley, even though you're pretty aggravated and irritated with him. Let's see. Tell me about the accident itself, just to give me a frame of reference, Mr. Bracey.
On the morning of December 14th, my wife and I left our house and drove about 1.5 miles to the intersection where the accident occurred. I was driving less than the speed limit. I approached the intersection. I had the green light. Mr. Plumley entered the intersection. He had a red light, and the collision occurred.
Your wife was in the car with you?
My wife was in the car.
Was she injured in any way?
No, she wasn't. We were both fortunate.
Very. What kind of car were you driving?
I had a Range Rover.
What year?
1999.
Okay. You have photographs of the car?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'd like to see them. What happened immediately after the accident, Mr. Bracey?
It was a pretty severe impact. Initially, I thought I'd killed the defendant.
I see his car. He's lucky he
was,
wasn't killed. Bird.
I checked my wife. We had 2 dogs in our car, and everybody seemed to be okay in my car. I went over to Mr. Plumley's car, and I seriously thought that I had killed him at that moment or he would soon die. So I got a blanket and covered him up. From there, EMT arrived almost immediately and began taking care of them, and I went back and took care of my wife.
Who was probably pretty shaken up. What about Miss Taylor?
She didn't appear to be hurt. She was what appeared to be in shock, and she was, to some degree, tending to the defendant. My wife went over and told her not to move him, and then she went back to our truck and stayed in the truck for the rest of the...
Now, what time was this?
This was at 8:30 in the morning.
And you were on your way to work?
No, we were out on a family outing. This was a Saturday morning.
Where were you going, Mr. Plumlee?
I was on my way home.
From where?
From a buddy's house. I'd been playing darts all night long.
And what about Miss Taylor?
She was with me.
Is she your girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now I know what happened. He's playing darts and having one beer all night. He almost gets himself killed. You got a good smash on the front end of your Range Rover that looks like a pretty decent car, because despite the fact that you caused the kind of damage you caused to his car when you hit it, your car was relatively unscathed. You're pretty lucky. Now, my question to you, Mr. Bracey, is when you accepted the money from Mr. Plumlee's insurance, did they or did they not have you sign a general release?
No, ma'am, they did not. I didn't get any money from his insurance company. They paid the repair shop directly.
So you signed nothing?
I signed nothing.
How do you value loss of value on a 1999 Range Rover, which has been repaired to your satisfaction, because it had to be to your satisfaction? How do you value loss?
Well, I talked to the defendant's insurance company. They gave me a set of criteria that I would have to meet. One of those was to get an independent appraiser to appraise my car both before and after the accident. And I did that.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am. And that appraisal is what I base my claim on.
What happened when you gave this to the defendant's insurance company?
They looked at it and basically disregarded it and offered me a $1,000 settlement. They had another appraisal done that came up with an appraisal of $981.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so your appraisal says that the car has a diminished value of $4,400, and the insurance company says that it's about $1,000. What do you say, sir?
I have no idea how much his car lost value, if it lost value. I'm assuming it did lose value. I wish it wouldn't have happened, but I mean, I know I was wrong in the situation. But I mean, from my understanding, my insurance company did take care of his vehicle. On top of that, offered him $1,000. And I feel that, you know, it's been amended, and it's basically how I feel.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Photographer Jeremy Harris is suing painter Shannon Silva for the cost of a digital camera. Jeremy claims Shannon stole it.
Mr. Harris, you had your camera stolen.
Yes, I did.
And it was an expensive camera. You are a photographer by trade?
I am.
And it is your claim that Mr. Silva stole your camera.
It is.
Mr. Silva says he doesn't know what you're talking about. When was your camera stolen?
On April 18th, which was a Friday.
Where was it stolen from?
From a bar in San Francisco.
Had you ever seen the defendant
No.
before April 18th?
I did not.
Did you see him on April 18th?
No, I did not.
Then what makes you think he stole your camera?
I received a phone call on April 23rd, actually the 22nd, I didn't check the messages until the 23rd, from an individual claiming to have my camera, and he was using it for his own personal use, and was not going to give it back, and some obscenities, and that was basically the gist of the message.
So you think that somebody who stole your camera called you, knew who you were, so they had to have been at the function, or they had to have known you. Is that right?
I returned to the bar that it was stolen from and put up a flyer outside the bar and inside the bar, talked to some of the bartenders and the people who may have been there. And on that flyer, I offered a reward for $200 for the return of the camera, no questions asked, and left my cell phone number on it.
I see. So anybody could have walked in and taken that number.
Yes.
And called you.
Yes.
Whether they stole the camera or not.
Yes, that's true.
So if somebody wanted to torture you, they could have done that. If somebody was acting like a fool, they could have done that.
That's absolutely true.
Now, what makes you think it was Mr. Silva?
The person who left the message conveniently left his cell phone number on my caller ID on my cell phone.
Okay.
Which I, after reporting it to the police, I took the liberty of going after the information myself, which led me to Mr. Silva.
How did you get to him?
Through an online investigative service.
Do you have that
I do.
recording? I'd like to hear it, please.
Hey, I'm calling about your Nikon Coolpix 5000, small black little camera with a strap.
Yeah, I found that thing the night you lost it, so, but it's been very useful, and I just wanted to let you know that, hey, you know, I've got some really good footage and stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to incorporate it with my business, so cool. I'll put it to good use, don't worry. There's no way I'm ever going to give it back to you, so just write it off the tax bill, whatever, I don't care. But you're for leaving there in the first place, so, you know, you're stupid. Later.
What's the name of the bar?
The Tavern.
Have you ever been there, Mr. Silva?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Now, let's not even talk about whether or not you stole his camera.
Did I steal his camera?
I didn't ask you whether you stole his
I didn't
camera.
hear the question.
I said, let's not even talk about whether you stole his camera or not. Let's talk about whether you were an idiot and made the phone call. For fun.
For fun?
Yeah, just for fun.
Well, Your Honor...
Just for fun.
I'm not quite clear on what you're trying to say to me, Your Honor.
What I'm trying to say to you, Mr. Silva, is that you made the phone call because you were a jerk. That doesn't necessarily mean you stole the camera. As a matter of fact, I think that you probably didn't steal the camera. I think that you probably saw the flyer that he put up, which described the camera.
It did.
And decided just to be a dumb creep and call this man and torture him. And do you know why I think that? Who's this person sitting with you?
She's my girlfriend.
Because I was watching her face very carefully, and she knows you called him. So you owe him an apology. You probably didn't steal his camera, but you put him to a great deal of trouble.
Your Honor, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
I called Mr. Harris, and I'm not really quite sure exactly what had happened that evening, the night the phone call was made on the 22nd, but I have no recollection of making the phone call.
But you say you did call him.
There was a phone call made from my phone, but because of my intoxicated state, I have no clue of what had happened. As bad as it may seem, when he summoned, the papers were summoned to me by the court to appear for this theft of the camera, I had no idea, Your Honor.
Mr. Silva.
None.
Mr.
None.
Silva, just listen to me, sir. I'm not suggesting to you that you stole his camera. I'm suggesting to you that you were a jerk. It's your voice, Mr. Silva, on the tape. That's you.
I assume responsibility, even when I called...
Perfect! Perfect.
Just for the fact that it came
perfect.
from my phone, Your Honor.
Perfect. Listen to me, Mr. Silva. You made the phone call. She knows you made the phone call.
Your Honor, she doesn't know that.
Sure she does.
She doesn't know
Sure
that.
she does. If you would have taken a look at her face before, when he took out the machine to play the machine, fortunately, we recorded her face.
Well, I think that you...
Fortunately, we recorded her face, Mr. Silva, so you owe him an apology.
I disagree with that last statement.
You owe him an apology.
I already apologized to Mr.
Good.
Harris.
Mr. Harris, you don't have sufficient proof that Mr. Silva was anything other than drunk and acting like a jerk that night and acting stupid. We have succeeded in displaying that to probably 10 million people. You may feel satisfied, sir, but as far as recouping the cost of your camera, I can't help you with that, Mr. Harris. Got it?
Yes.
Case is dismissed. That's
Thank
all.
you.
Please excuse me. Step out.
He wanted to take a little bit further, so he did.
That was the only lead I had to go on as to who had it, so I was going on that evidence.
This owner, Sheila Garza, is suing her mother, Lois Stevens, for the cost of plane tickets and for a refrigerator she sold to her.
Right in the courtroom, please. All rise. Now, this is case number 154 on the calendar in the matter of Garza versus Stevens. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Ms. Garza, the defendant is your mother.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, you sold your mother an old refrigerator for $150. Mother agreed to make payments on that of $25 a month.
That's correct.
And she did not.
Correct.
Then it is your claim that you purchased airline tickets for your mother to go to some family function. What kind of
sister was
function?
getting married.
And where did you have to fly from and to?
From Spokane to Austin, Texas.
And it is your claim that your mother asked you to purchase the tickets for her with an agreement that she would repay you?
Correct.
She did give you one payment?
Yes, she did.
But then stop payment on that check?
Correct.
$70. Your mother says that the refrigerator was an old one. You were going to throw it out anyway, so you agreed to give it to her.
That's not her fault.
And the tickets were gifts, even though she gave you a lot of money, including $500 in cash. Is
No.
that right?
Yes,
That's what
I
you're
did.
saying?
Yes.
Okay. So let's get to the refrigerator first.
Okay.
Were you getting a new refrigerator?
Yes, I had new appliances purchased for me in January, the first
By
week of
whom?
My mother-in-law bought me new appliances for Christmas. I was going to sell my old refrigerator in the newspaper for $200. My mom asked me, since the apartment she lived in had a lousy refrigerator, she asked if she could buy our old one from us for $150. She'd make payments. I said, okay. And we delivered.
That didn't happen?
No, it didn't.
Well, why don't you tell me your version of what happened?
Yes, Your Honor. She had offered me the refrigerator because she knew my fridge was bad. And she said she'd sell it to me for $50. And then when her and her husband brought it out to the home, my son helped him bring it into the house. And my son and her husband went into Justin's room, and they were talking. And he says, well, Sheila wants $50, but we just want to get rid of it. We're going to get rid of it anyhow. That was the end of it. And then I went up to her Mary Kay party, and something was brought up about the fridge. And I says, oh, wait a minute. I think you better have a talk with Rick. Him and Justin were talking, and Rick said he was just getting rid of it anyhow.
That's
Okay.
not true.
That was the
All right,
bottom
so
line.
then let me dispel that for you, Miss Stevens. You had an agreement with your daughter to buy the refrigerator.
For $50.
That was your agreement. The fact that her husband may have told your son we were going to get rid of it anyway, that does not vacate your agreement. You still had an agreement.
Right.
And your daughter says it wasn't for $50, it was for $150. Now, Ms. Garza, is it possible that you made a mistake, that it was $50?
No, Your Honor. It was a Kenmore side-by-side. It was a nice fridge. I was just originally going to get a new dishwasher. There was a good deal going on in January for a fridge as well, matching fridge. I would reimburse my mother-in-law for the new fridge, and I was going to put our old refrigerator in the paper for $200. She wanted to buy it.
Okay. I believe you. Now let's get to the tickets.
Okay.
Tell me about how that came about. Your sister is getting married in Texas.
Yes.
Your mom wants to go.
Yes. My brother was supposed to walk my sister down the aisle. She had nobody to walk her down the aisle. My mom claimed she was not going to allow my brother to go if she could not go as well.
Well, exactly what did she say to you?
She said that I'm not allowing Justin to go if I can't go too. I don't have the funds to go. On the 7th.
7th of what?
Of April. I called the Southwest and reserved 2 round-trip tickets for them. Went down the very next day on the 8th and purchased the tickets. I kept the tickets until the day before we left. Said, Mom, these are the tickets. Where's the payment? She said she'd pay me $70 a month.
Just a minute. I didn't hear you make an agreement with her.
Well, it was over the phone. She had said, I will pay you $70.
Sure, all I heard was, let's go back, Ms. Garza.
Sorry.
All I heard was she said, I'm not letting him go unless I go too.
Correct.
And then you hopped to, I went and bought the tickets.
Sorry. She had said that, you know, she was going to try to come up with some money. During that time, we had talked. She said, I can't come up with any money. I've tried all my resources. Can I make payments to you? I was very leery at first, said no, because you still haven't paid me for the refrigerator. Talked with my husband, and he said, well, if she's not going to let your brother go. My sister was very upset because she'd already bought the tux for him. She needed him there. I asked my husband, honey, can we do this? I called her. She said, yes, I'll pay you $70 a month. I will write you a check in advance for a payment. And when I got back from Texas, she had put a stop payment on that check.
Can I see the stop payment on
Yes, you can.
Why did you put a stop payment on the check, Ms. Stevens?
Well, the morning that we was leaving from Austin, she had asked me for $20 because she knew that's all I had to my name because I'd lost our round-trip tickets to come home on.
Which I had to repurchase new tickets for them to come back on.
So then she says, oh, I need that money. I said, well, Sheila, you know I broke that 20, you know, to go to the zoo yesterday. And before we left San Antonio, I had wrote my daughter, I have the check here, for $145 because she said, Mom, don't worry about it, we'll get you home. And I says, okay. So I wrote this post-dated check for her to cash.
Which daughter?
Melinda, the one that got married. The one that got married in San Antonio.
Your Honor, that's a wedding gift.
This was not a wedding gift. I did write wedding on it, but it pertained to the wedding and getting home and everything. You know, I just wrote it down there. But this was for our ticket part of my ticket to get home on. But then, whenever I told her I did not have the money, she called me I'm sorry. She called me a...
That's not true.
And I was just totally... And it's not the first time she's called me numerous names. She keeps me away from my grandchildren at times and everything.
Ms. Stevens, what does that have to do with stopping payments on the $70 check?
Because of her calling me a... She
well,
numerously...
that may wash in a family,
yes,
but it doesn't
you're
wash
right.
in court.
She numerously just degrades me.
Ms.
Calls
Stevens.
me anorexia, everything, and I'm not.
Ms. Stevens, so what you're saying is you agreed to pay her back for the plane ticket, but you decided not to pay her back because she was disrespectful.
Your Honor, I paid her $500. I borrowed it from my ex-boyfriend that we were together 8 years. I borrowed it from him. She came out that morning. I gave her that.
Wait, just a second. You're doing a fast dance, Ms. Stevens.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. She says her mother, Lois Stevens, owes for plane tickets and a refrigerator.
You borrowed what and when and from whom? Let's start with what.
Okay.
You borrowed what?
I borrowed $500 from Roger.
When?
On this 1st.
On the 1st of what?
1st of April. Sheila came out to my home.
Yes.
And I had to keep some of the money and everything to buy him clothes, some clothes and everything to go. And then I wrote her a $70 check, you know, to cover the remaining.
You're dancing, Miss Stevens. Are you sick?
I canceled the check because of her calling me one too many times.
Are you saying that you gave her $500 in cash?
Yes.
That is not true.
Just a second. Well, that's what you write in your answer, that you gave her $500 in cash.
If you could
on the 1st. Now you say that Roger gave you $500, but you used most of it to buy clothes and other stuff.
No, I used my money for that. I'm sorry, I misstated it.
You misstated it because
yes,
it's not true. You
No,
never
it
gave
is.
your daughter $500 in cash.
Yes.
Because if you... Hey, listen to me. You never gave her $500 in cash, madam. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you gave her $500 in cash on April 1st, on May 1st, you wouldn't have given her a check for $70. Because that would have paid the entire airline ticket if you gave her $500 in cash, your ticket. So that it would have been no reason for you to give her $70.
No, I did owe her $70, Your Honor. And
from what?
For the tickets and all. And if you could do
Just
it like...
a minute. What do you mean tickets and all? What is that? How much were the tickets? How much was...
$474.
Your ticket didn't even come to $500.
Then I missed...
So why would you give her $500? You wanted to make her a present?
Your Honor, I'm mistaken then, because I've just been...
You're mistaken. All right, I'll agree that you were mistaken.
Yes, I am.
All right, you're mistaken.
I was just a basket case going to the wedding anyhow, because when the kids all get together, they just gang up on me.
It was a nightmare, Your Honor. She completely... it was a complete nightmare having her there. She completely ruined every function that we went to.
No.
I mean, if you need any more evidence, Your Honor, I do have the...
Can I see it, please?
And I have the statement also from Southwest, which they only give this to the purchaser, and they researched and sent that to me stating that I was the reserver and I was the purchaser on both round-trip tickets there and the return tickets back for both of them.
Because you said you could get them cheaper.
That is not true.
What if she can get it cheaper or not? What difference does it make? Why did you lose them?
Accidents happen. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's lost tickets in life.
You're the only one that I know so far today who's lost tickets that somebody else paid for, and then they had to pay for the return tickets.
She did not
and
pay.
Then you don't want to pay her for them.
She did not pay for the tickets.
Did you ever say to your daughter that your son's not going unless I can
go?
go?
No, I definitely did not. I absolutely did not. He can testify to that. And he can testify also to the money situation
I'm not
and
going
the
to ask him to do
refrigerator
that.
situation.
I'm not going to ask him to do that. You still live with your mother?
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
You going to stay there for a while?
He's still in school.
Shh. Are you staying there for a while?
Yes.
It's just you and your mother?
Yes.
What's your first name?
Justin.
Justin, your primary responsibility is to make yourself the best human being that you can be. Do you understand me?
Yes.
That's your first responsibility, is to yourself. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you don't do that, you don't have one wasted life, you're going to have two. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
You understand? I don't have to say any more to you, right? Do
Yes,
you
Your Honor.
understand? Not one, then you have two wasted lives. Your primary responsibility is to yourself. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $875. I find that there was an agreement to buy the refrigerator, which was not paid. addition to the bounced check fee for $70 and the airplane tickets and their replacement. That's all. Step out.
Well, you're going to rot me for
Pardon
lying.
your excuse. You may step out.
It is absolutely a lie. And I hope she rots.
I'm told the truth, so.
The Lord is going to see to that.
It's just drama. That's just how she is.
8-year-old bus driver Latasha Phillips is suing neighbor, medical transport driver Keith Graham, for the cost to fix her car. Keith is countersuing also for car repair costs.
Miss Phillips, you and the defendant are neighbors, is that right?
Yes.
And it is your claim that your car was hit by the defendant's car, which was being driven by a friend of his. This friend?
Yes. Correct.
And you want the defendant to pay for it because he said he would. Is that right?
Yes.
No. Mr. Graham says when he heard about the accident, he thought perhaps his friend was at fault, and he agreed to give you some money, which you took.
Correct.
And you signed a release.
I didn't sign anything.
So let's see if we can make this as brief as possible. If you signed a release, Miss Phillips.
I didn't sign anything.
If you signed a release, this case is over from your perspective.
Okay.
Mr. Graham has a counterclaim because he said, well, he subsequently found out that it wasn't his friend's fault, but he thinks it was your fault, and he wants you to pay for the damage to his car.
Yes.
Let me see the release that you say she signed.
Okay.
Who wrote out this release?
I wrote it out, Your Honor.
And who signed Letitia Phillips?
I did. I didn't sign it, I printed it. I didn't close it by signing the bottom of it. I printed my name where it said I received $200, but I never signed anything at the bottom. So between the time that he gave me the $200 and now, he could have altered it and wrote anything.
Miss Phillips?
Yes.
You explained to me about receiving this $200. Explain it to me.
When his friend hit my car, he went upstairs and got him. He came down and said, well, how do you want to handle the situation? We both agreed not to call.
No. He said to you, how do you want to handle this situation?
I said, I just want my car fixed. Those were my exact words.
I just want my car fixed. And what did he say to you?
Well, he didn't want to call his insurance company because he didn't want to go through his insurance company. So he said, well, with $200, start your payments for the car to get your car fixed. That's not true.
No, he wouldn't say that. Miss Phillips, don't play with me.
I'm not playing with you.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't say with this start getting your car fixed.
But if you read the note, it says a down payment.
Oh. No, it says payment. Not down payment. It says payment. Let me see pictures of your car, the damage to your car. Did you have it fixed?
No.
What'd you do with the $200?
I still have it.
Good.
I offered to give him the money back when I got an estimate of my car. He didn't want to do nothing.
Why did you take the $200 from him?
To take my car to the shop.
Right. And then you found that it was going to be more.
Yeah.
So you should have thought first before you signed this paper. Right?
Right.
So that was foolish of you. You thought you could have it fixed for $200. It's not a terrible, I mean, the car is clearly drivable. It just has a dent in it. $3,130 is what you're suing him for.
Because when I get my car fixed, it's going to be in the shop for like 13 days.
Why didn't you report it to your insurance?
Because why should I have to pay my deductible when it wasn't my fault?
What's your deductible?
$500.
It's better than $3,000, right?
Right.
Good. You signed a piece of paper, Miss Phillips. That's it. Now, you want to explain to me why, sir, you paid her the $200?
Okay, Your Honor, at the time my mother was sick in another state, and I trying to get out of town. When I saw the accident, I wanted it to just be over with. I came to her and asked her, how did you want to handle this? How much you think it'll take care to get your car right? She told me about $200 or $300. So after I said I had $200, will you accept that? But when you sign this, for all I'm concerned, it's over with. And she agreed to it.
I just told her it's over with. So what are you here for?
The countersuit, 2 days later, my neighbor happened to see the accident. And she said, I saw the girl looking behind her, wasn't paying attention to what she was doing when she ran into my car.
Let me see the damage to your car.
Okay, here are the pictures. There you go.
I hit his car because he pulled out without looking.
She was looking in the back seat, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
My name is Rita Kreiner.
Ms. Kreiner, tell me what you observed. I think it was on February 19th of this year.
That morning, I was waiting for transportation to take me to the doctor. As I'm looking, she came just like this, and I saw Woody was parked right in front of my step.
Go ahead, continue.
Anyway, as he started the car up, and I got out of the window, and I started looking at the news, I got back in the window again to look for the driver again, and that's when I seen her coming, and bam! And I called him later on.
Thank you. Mr. Graham, when Woody came upstairs, he spoke to you, is that right?
Right.
Woody told you it was his fault?
No, he did not.
Well, if Woody didn't tell you it was his fault, then why would you give her $200?
Like I said, my mother was sick back east. I'm trying to get out of town. I don't want to be bothered with none of this right now. I'm already upset that now I got to deal with an accident and stuff. My idea at the time was to resolve this right now.
So then why are you here on a counterclaim, sir?
Because she hit the car when I found out that she was doing something else when she hit my car.
Just a second.
Okay.
You just said to me you didn't care whose fault it was.
No.
You just wanted the whole thing to go away because you had other things on your mind. That's why you gave her the $200, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So then why are you here today?
Well, she was suing me for $3,000. So I figured, she hit my car once I found out she actually wasn't paying attention. My car is still total.
Where's your insurance?
Well, I could use my insurance, but I'm thinking the same way she's thinking. Well, I'd use mine if she hit my car.
Good. Both use your insurance. Goodbye.
Okay.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She took the money. You know, it was over with as far as I was concerned.
I want my car fixed, and I don't think...
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Kangas versus Kangas, step forward, please.
Licensed investigator Paul Kangas is suing his son, 21-year-old movie theater clerk Shane Kangas, for unauthorized credit card charges and for money owed on a computer. Shane says he worked off the debt by working in the family business.
Mr. Kangas, this young man is your son.
Yes, Your Honor.
How old is he?
21.
What do you do?
I work at a movie theater.
What do you do there?
I serve people popcorn, clean up at the night.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Computer technician.
Okay. Mr. Kangas, you say that your son came to live with you, and you also purchased a computer for him, and I understand that the agreement was it was going to be paid for in sort of barter. He was going to put in a certain number of hours working for your business, which is private investigating business.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that would pay off the computer.
Yes.
And you also gave him a credit card.
I did.
And told him to use it, but use it wisely.
It's to help him in the business, so when I send him out to do something, like go to the lab to develop film, that he'd have a way of paying for the film, picking up the film.
And what about personal stuff if he needed something?
Personal stuff, he had to check with me before he spent beyond $20. I have the same arrangement with my daughter, and she honors it strictly with her credit card.
That's what makes horse racing, sir. Children
Yes.
are different.
That's for sure.
Okay. After several months, he decided he didn't like it anymore, so he decided to sit in his room, play his guitar, whatever. You got annoyed. He left. He wanted to pay for the computer and for the credit card bills that he racked up while he was still using the credit card. That's what your lawsuit's about.
Somewhat. It's the reason for buying the computer for him was to motivate him. So I made this deal with him. Look, you know, you pick out any computer you want, and the deal is you'll pay for it out of the amount of time you put in. I'm only asking you to work 4 hours a day. We lived across the street from the courts, so it was easy for him.
Well, how long did he work for you after you bought him the computer?
Several months. He was doing quite well. He was really motivated.
Well, how much did he work off of the computer?
About $1,000 of it.
That's a pretty nebulous contract that you have with him, Mr. Kangas.
Well, he didn't last that long because he got so into the computer. I mean, he'd be up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning on the computer, and I'm trying to sleep. I was trying to motivate him. I was trying to control him. I was trying to exert some parental influence on him.
All sounds terrific. Remember, the father knows best?
Yes, I do.
It's not like that anymore.
Well, it's...
You know, families don't sit around in shirts and ties having dinner together anymore. Everything that you did with your son sounds as if you had the right motivation. He was going to work, and he was going to pay off his computer, and he was going to be responsible with the credit card.
That's right.
Right.
But then we got into a dispute over the computer, and then he moved out and started spending the credit card like it was his credit card and it was free money, and he just started sending me these bills for huge amounts of money.
Well, what I would like to see is the bills after he moved out. And then, Bert, you know what we're going to do? We need one of those great fly swatters that we used to have, because there's a sucker here that's looking to meet its ancient relatives.
I think I got just what you need.
You or me?
Oh. Took a nice little nose dive right into your cup. No, they didn't. No.
See what happens when I get annoyed?
Yes,
Okay. What date did you move out, young man?
It was 14 months ago.
Well, give me a month.
June or July.
June or July. So let me see the bills after June or July. Let's do July.
Well, the deal was no crazy expenses. And
Mr. Kangas, listen to me very carefully, sir. I raised a lot of teenagers, and they are so creative with a credit card.
Yeah.
I didn't know for a very long time that when I gave a kid a gas credit card, that they could go in and get enough food for their entire dormitory in one of those gas places. I didn't know that. And I said, how could they use so much gas? The campus isn't that big. Where are you using all that gas? And then I realized that you can buy milk and juice and newspapers and cookies and snacks and eggs. And you can not only buy, listen, and you can not only buy it for yourself, but you could buy it for all your friends, because if you buy it for all your friends, they give you the cash.
Right.
Do you understand? Listen, Mr. Kangas, I know that that happens. I didn't sue my children. So what I want to see is, after he left, because it was clear to me that when you left, you should have left the credit card.
He did. I took it away from him.
And how did he use it?
I don't know how he got another one.
How did you use it, sir? Shh. Is not an answer.
I had the number on my computer still, so I could still make online purchases.
Okay. Now, Mr. Kangas, what's your first name?
Shane.
Shane. So let me explain this to you. The computer, sir, is yours because your father made a too soft a deal for me to have to figure out how many hours you worked and whether or not you paid for the computer with the work that you did for it. That's his problem. But you're a big boy. So you knew that when you moved out of the house and your father took the credit card from you, you were not supposed to use it, right? Is not an answer.
Sorry.
If he took the credit card from you, he said to you, what did he say? Give me the credit card, and if you need it, go look on your computer and get the number? Give me the fly swatter. Let me explain something to you. He's a computer hacker.
That's right.
And he's going to go into your bills, and if he has your social security number, he'll steal your identity, and all of a sudden you'll find that you bought 9 surfboards.
Then he took the credit card out of my ex-wife's purse and went back to spending it again.
Well, it doesn't say much for you, sir, that you raised a thief.
No, I feel it's the unexpected legacy of divorce.
That is a crock. That's not the legacy of divorce. I've been divorced, and I had children, and none of them are thieves. 5 of them. Nobody would go into my pocketbook and steal my credit card. So that's ridiculous.
Well, he's depressed, and I feel that...
He's depressed?
Yeah, he's got a
He's
lack
depressed.
of
He's a
motivation.
thief. That's not being depressed. Look at him. Does he look depressed to you? He doesn't look depressed to me.
He's got a lack of
A little
motivation.
high, maybe, but not depressed. Right, Shane?
No.
Really?
Really?
Really? I see $849 on the credit card after July.
Unfortunately, I put all of the receipts in a special envelope, put it in a special place, and then I couldn't find it, so that by the time I got here, that's what I had. I understand. I should have had better control of my file.
No, you should have better control of your son.
That
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $849. That's all.
What is our excuse? You may step out.
I can understand.
Car.
Yeah, this is case number 376 on the calendar in the matter of Hopper Damron versus Carnes. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Who's Miss Hopper?
Hi.
Okay, and who are you?
I'm Melissa's mother. I'm Tammy Damron.
Why don't you have a seat, Miss Damron? How old are you?
Okay. 18.
Okay, why don't you have a seat for a minute? I don't know if we're going to need you. Is this your former husband?
Yes.
Or soon-to-be former husband?
Yes.
But you are still legally married?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
1 year on September 27th.
And you have a child who was how old?
Almost 3 months.
And Miss Carnes is his grandmother?
Yes.
Got it?
Got it.
From what I gather, a couple of years ago, you and your then boyfriend needed a car. You had an old car, and you decided to get a new one.
Right.
You didn't have good enough credit to buy a new one, so you asked Miss Carnes if she would buy the car in her name. You would make all the payments on the car, you and your husband.
Correct.
And you were going to trade in your old car as the down payment. They gave you a $2,000 credit.
Correct.
Is that right? And Grandma said she would do that, even though she risked her own credit if you didn't make the payments. But you did, in fact, you and your husband made the payments. Were you working during that year?
Yes, I did. Actually, I had a job being a nanny.
Did he work regularly?
No.
What did he do?
I have no idea. Well, he did actually...
What do you mean you have no idea? You lived with him.
He had a DJ job on the side. That's pretty much what he did on the weekends and sometimes during the week. And when he wasn't doing that, he was at home.
Who was taking care of the baby?
He wasn't born at the time.
So you were pregnant? Were you working while you were pregnant?
Yes.
Well, then an incident occurred with your husband.
Correct.
He assaulted you.
Yes.
That case is currently pending, is that right? Is that right, sir?
Yes.
So we're not going to get into that because that case has not gone to trial yet. So you separated. He took the car. You want your $2,000 back.
Correct.
That's what the case is about. Right?
Yes.
What kind of car did you trade in?
92 Geostorm.
And in what month and year did you trade it in?
August of 2003.
Well, explain to me why you think you are entitled to $2,000 back from Miss Carnes.
Basically, we had the arrangement that if we paid the payments that I would be able to drive the car, and we always made the payments. Whenever he wasn't working, I did pay the payments too.
And you used the car?
I honestly didn't have the car that much. He would take me to work.
Well, we don't balance that out. You had it sometimes, he had it sometimes. My question to you is, look, this is what she has.
Okay.
She doesn't have the car.
Right.
He has the car.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Stand up so I don't have to point. I'd like to look at you over here. She doesn't have the car. She's a good Samaritan.
Right.
He has the car.
Right.
All she does is have the aggravation. She has the loan. And she has the problem if he doesn't pay.
Right.
But she doesn't get anything out of this car.
Right.
So why do you think that she should give you $2,000?
Honestly, Judge, I think that I'm entitled to $2,000 because it is not fair that I have to raise my son by myself with no car, nothing, without...
That's not her problem. You want to say something? You can say something. I mean, that may be his problem, but that's not his grandmother's problem. Why should she go into her pocket and take out $2,000 and give it to you?
Because she's condoning what he did.
So what? That's not a legal response. What?
What I have to say, Judge Judy, is I did not, the car was mine. Melissa had transportation. She got together with this guy. The mistake in the matter was that we didn't get anything in writing. I didn't want them to use, Melissa had transportation. She worked, she goes to school. He didn't work. The fact of the matter is, now, whenever he wasn't working and the payments had to be made, it came from Melissa or from...
Miss Damron, excuse me. You're not following me.
Okay.
Why should Miss Carnes, under what theory is it fair for her to go into her pocket? She doesn't have a car.
Because she didn't want to...
Just a second. She doesn't have a car. He's not a party to this action. Why should she go into her pocket and take out $2,000 and give it to your daughter?
I didn't want that car to be used as a down payment, but she
did it anyway.
Right. And
you're not
exactly. Yeah, she said that. She said that she would put the car in her name and not put their name on the title whatsoever.
Your daughter asked her to do that.
Yeah, and I was there at that time.
Just a minute. If they needed a better car, did they ask you to use your credit?
They did.
And you said no?
Yes.
Okay. Because you didn't want to have that responsibility. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so far, nobody has given me a logical reason why I should have Miss Carnes go into her pocket and take out $2,000 and give it to your daughter.
The reason I see is the fact that she should get the money from
somewhere.
Her grandson. She should get the money from her grandson because Melissa has the brand new baby. I have to take off work. Melissa had transportation. Now she has no transportation,
Right.
and he pays no child support.
That's not her problem.
Right. It's not her problem. But
Why
I'm
is
saying
that? That's
she
not
should get
her
the money from
problem. So what you're telling me is she should have more control over her grandson to get him to pay up and be responsible.
Well, basically,
is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I am, because
that's ridiculous.
She had
because that's not what you do in a court.
Right. Well, I guess not, but they had the money to bail him out of jail whenever he put her in the hospital 3 days before she was having their son.
Instead of taking off work, why don't you help her? If you have a job and you are regularly employed, buy a car. If she works, then you say to her, Melissa, dear, you're going to have to make payments on this car so that you'll have transportation. You're her mother. Instead, what you did was you relied on his grandmother to do that because you didn't want to do it. His grandmother is not responsible to give her $2,000. Maybe her soon-to-be ex-husband might be responsible for providing her with some sort of transportation because he now has the transportation, but that's not up to me. That's up to the judge who's handling their divorce. Certainly, Ms. Carnes is not responsible for $2,000 that your daughter would like to buy a new car. Case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's just mad I won't be with her, and that's what she's causing all this drama over.
Basically, I was tired of being beat up and cheated on.
I've worked since I was 17. I've supported her. She's lived with me since she was 16.
No, he never works, and his grandmother basically bails him out of jail every time he beats my daughter up.
I want her out of my life. I would just want to be able to see my kid and live my life.
Basically, I don't think he's going to have anything to do with my son, considering I don't want him beating up my son, too.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of White versus Schimmels, step forward.
Nurse Diana White is suing her ex-boyfriend, switchboard operator Tom Schimmels, for the return of $4,000 worth of property. Diana says her ex is an abusive man. Tom is countersuing for harassment and mental distress.
Ms. White, you claim that you met the defendant through a dating service. You moved in with him, and after a period of time, he told you that he wanted you to leave. You did, in fact, leave. It was not a pleasant separation. You claim he kept some of your property. You're suing him for that property in the amount of $4,000. Mr. Schimmel says that the only property that he has of yours is a stove that you left out on the front porch, that he's called you several times to come and get it. You can come and get it whenever you like because it's still there. Is that right, Mr. Schimmels?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
And that Mr. Schimmels is counterclaiming because he says that since you left, you have been embarking on course of harassing conduct towards him, and you caused some damage to his home when you moved out. Mr. Schimmels, I assume that you are legally blind, sir, and that dog is a seeing eye dog. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. White, when did you meet Mr. Schimmels?
About June of 2003.
How did you meet him?
Through a singles line, a singles dating service.
You arranged your first meeting when?
I'm going to say June, the end of June.
And when did you move in with him?
The middle of October.
When did you move out?
February 10th.
Why did you move out?
Throughout our relationship, Tom would get angry and he would say, I just want you to move out. I just want you out of here. It made it very difficult to...
So why didn't you move out?
Because then he would say, I don't mean that. I just say that when I'm frustrated. The night of January 31st, we got into an argument over something very small, and he assaulted me that night. He hit me. I have a 911 tape.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I wasn't even comfortable in my own house.
Well, what would you like me to do about that, sir?
Well, that's why I countersued, because I was distressed, and
I've been distressed most of my life, sir. It doesn't mean that I come to a court and try to annoy somebody.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Diana White says ex-boyfriend Tom Schimmels owes for the return of patio furniture and a stove. Tom says Diana won't leave him alone.
According to what I read in the complaint, Mr. Schimmels gave you $2,500. What did he give you the $2,500 for?
That was for a grandfather clock, a china hutch, some rugs, and a computer desk, the bedding for the master bedroom, pictures, rugs, things like that.
Well, do you have a list?
Those are not...
Do you have a list?
I do not.
I do, Your Honor.
You do? Can I
Yes.
see the list? Who is this? Your friend?
This is my witness, Tim Flanagan.
Tim Flanagan, Judy.
Your last name, sir?
Flanagan.
Mr. Flanagan, step back, sir. Bird
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
like anybody to get too close, even
Yeah,
though
all
I
right.
know you don't look dangerous.
Thank you.
You bet.
A hutch, lamps, grandfather clock, curtains in the master bedroom, desk, office, rug in the family room, and pictures in the master bedroom. Then you write, by no means is $2,500 fair, something the police have been to the house 2 times, and I do not want the... What is this, Bert? We'll ask her if she can read this, since it's her handwriting.
I couldn't read it either. Sorry for the pun.
Have been to the house. I do not want the abusiveness and fighting to increase, so under duress I agreed to this.
Okay, fine. So, now, what things do you have, madam, that you say he refused to let you take from the house?
There's an entertainment center that I purchased in October, and I have a receipt for that. I purchased $2,300 worth of mini blinds and drapes. There's my antique stove.
Let's deal with this. As far as the mini blinds, etc., you don't get those back. They're fixtures. They're a part of the property, so you don't get them back, and he's not paying you for them. The stove you get back because he says he has the stove, and you can come and get it at any time.
Your Honor,
Go and
he
get it.
said this in the past, and he won't
Okay,
let me.
we'll create an order that 5 days from today's date, at 12 o'clock, you're going to come there with a, is this an old stove?
It's an antique stove.
Fine. Going to come there, and she's going to pick it up. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir. I've told her many times to come get it, and she
Fine.
refused to do that, and I've
Good.
given her, you know,
No,
all
no,
of her
no,
stuff.
fine. Terrific. The entertainment center. What about the entertainment center, sir?
She said when we were buying, I bought all the furniture from More Furniture. She said that she was going to buy that for me as a gift.
Give me the date.
It had to have been in October when we moved in because I bought all brand new furniture for the whole house. And
Okay. So listen to me very carefully, sir. In October or November, that means that within either a month to 2 months, you told her to leave the house, correct? After just pay careful attention, Mr. Schimmel.
Okay.
Within a month or 2 after she bought the entertainment center, according to you, for the house, you told her to leave. Is that right?
In December, yes.
And it's true that some of the stuff that is in your home, like the blinds and the stuff that is attached to the house that I already told her she can't have back because they're attached to your house, you still have there. Is that right?
Correct.
And you are complaining, sir, that she's harassing you because your counterclaim said that she's been harassing you for money. Is that right?
Yes, she's owes me money for damage deposits.
Just listen to me.
Okay.
You didn't sue her for damage deposits or anything else until she brought this lawsuit against you, Mr. Schimmel. So what I'm saying to you is, you're complaining that the harassment is because she keeps calling you, asking you for money.
Right.
Or her things. And I'm saying to you that it would have been smart of you if you told her to leave within a month or 2 of her buying you this entertainment center for the house she was moving. You should have given it back to her.
Well, I understood that it was a gift when she bought it.
I don't think so. How's that?
$771.52.
You prepared to give her back the entertainment center, sir? Along with the stove?
I can give her the stove. I mean, the entertainment center is built. I mean, it'd be really difficult for me to do that.
Okay. All right, so she gets the stove plus $771.50. What else, Miss White? And don't go into nonsense with me because otherwise I'll reconsider the $771.50.
I'm not. My patio furniture is there, my molded lawn chairs, my padded folding lawn chairs are there. He did return 2 of my hoses, but the ends were cut off of them. There's wind chimes, there's
Don't go into nonsense with me.
A 1940 radio.
You have an old radio, 1940 radio.
That she was going to throw away and she said I could have.
It's now become very, very important to her to have this old radio back. It's an antique. She wants it back. And when you give her back this property, she's going to stop annoying you. Do you understand?
Your Honor, when it all... I understand.
Good. So we have a stove that's going back to you and a radio. That's it, Miss White. Plus $771 for the entertainment center. Now let us briefly go into this counterclaim that you have. She's been harassing you. She's going to stop harassing you and calling you for money because you're giving her back the property that, according to what I believe she's entitled to, she's going to get within 5 days. Then you say she pulled her paintings right out of the walls and I had to hire a handyman to patch up and paint the damaged walls.
Yes.
Did you pull everything out of the walls?
No.
Show me pictures.
We don't have pictures.
Don't have
Good. Then you have no counterclaim.
But we have where we paid a man to fix the walls, and I've seen the walls when she moved out, and there was holes in them.
Why didn't you take a picture? If you intended to sue her, why didn't you take a
Well,
picture?
I didn't realize they were going to get into such an argument over some holes in the walls.
I mean, neither. So if you didn't plan on getting into an argument over holes in the walls, why are you bothering me with it now?
Yeah, okay.
Good. Counterclaim is dismissed.
Great.
There's a judgment for the plaintiff that I'm entering. 5 days from today, you to pick up your stove from his porch and the radio, which will be on the porch, on top of the stove, or underneath the stove, or next to the stove, plus $771 for the entertainment center that he says is too difficult to dismantle. Do you understand?
Yes.
By 12 noon. Otherwise, it's gone. Consider it over.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I've tried to get it over for a long time.
It's all. Listen to me.
I've not,
It's
you know, I mean,
over.
it was, I wasn't even comfortable in my own house.
Well, what would you like me to do about that, sir?
Well, that's why I countersued, because I was distressed and
I've been distressed most of my life, sir. It doesn't mean that I come to a court and try to annoy somebody. Do you understand? You should have given her back her radio. You should have paid her for the entertainment center.
I tried to.
You did? You tried
Yes,
to pay
I
her for the
tried
entertainment. You paid her for the entertainment center?
No, because she
sent her
said
a
that
check?
was a gift.
Mr. Schimmels, say goodbye, sir. Mr. Flanagan will help you out. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Wait here, please.
Judge Judy continues.
Body. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss Longs, you were injured when a plate glass window was broken and shattered into your car, and you were severely injured, according to your complaint. You had glass all over you, as well as damage to the car, which was not a serious one, and your pet that was in the car was also severely cut. And it is your claim that the defendant's son is responsible for that, and you want him to pay your medical bills, pain and suffering, damage to the car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So why don't you tell me where this happened?
Okay, my husband, my younger brother, my dog and I were going to a local fast food restaurant, and we pulled up into the drive-thru and made our order. We pulled around to the window.
Who was driving?
I was driving. And to be honest about it, I didn't know at the time that it was a window. I didn't know if it was a gun. I didn't know at the time what it was.
Tell me what you felt.
Just a million needles just going into my whole body. I mean, it's an indescribable pain. It was just like really, really bad.
After you felt this pain, did you have a consciousness to look around and see what had happened?
When it happened, I had started screaming, and my foot had come off the brake, which had caused my car to roll forward. My husband threw the car up in the park and got out of the car and went into the building.
Is your husband here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Would you step up, please?
I looked down in my lap, and my whole lap was covered with glass that was about that thick. I was afraid to get out of the car because I was afraid from the way I was driving that it would go in between my legs and cut me worse than what it had.
What happened next?
I heard my husband yelling, and I went to get out of the car, and the glass started scraping the insides of my leg. And I went up to the window, and I started to the drive-thru window, and I started screaming for my husband to call an ambulance because there was blood.
You were bleeding?
Yes. And I was telling Isaiah to get out of the car, I wanted to see if he was okay. He was okay, he wasn't bleeding. At that time, my dog went like this and put his paws up on the side of my car. And when he did, Your Honor, my dog's paw was all but completely cut off.
Is he okay?
No.
Were they able to save his paw?
Yes. We couldn't let him, look at it or get anything on it. And they give him antibiotics.
But he's home with you?
No, ma'am.
Why?
My dog was so protective over me that he would not let nobody else come near me other than my husband. And my dog attacked a man at my husband's job. And so therefore, we either had to get rid of him or they had to put him to sleep.
So what did you do?
My mother-in-law has him. She has a bigger house than what we do, but he has to stay on a chain.
Okay. So what happened?
It was a little incident at work. It was over a female. Me and the guy got into it.
You and a coworker got into an argument over a girl.
Yeah, he started it.
And what happened when you got into the argument with the coworker?
Well, apparently our boss separated us. She told me to go home. I went home. I was kind of heated at the time, and I was telling my mom what was going on. So me and my mom went up there.
Okay. Now, so what did you tell your mom? That you got into an argument with this coworker? Was it over a girl that you knew?
Basically, yes, ma'am. It was his girlfriend.
It was his girlfriend. Had you made advances to this girl, or did he think you had made advances to this girl?
Yes, ma'am.
And what had he said to you during the course of this original argument, before you went home to your mother?
Well, we go get into it, no.
No, I don't know. I don't know what means get into it. Tell me what he said to you, what you said to him.
He said he's gonna kick my, and I told him, man, it's whatever.
You told him whatever?
Yeah.
Now your boss sends you home.
Yes, ma'am.
And then he comes home and he talks to you.
Yes, ma'am.
What did he tell you?
He told me that him and this boy had an argument.
Did he tell you what it was about?
He said it was over some girl.
Did you ask him any specifics?
I asked him, what kind of argument that y'all was in. And he just said, Mama, it was over a girl. He keep messing with me and stuff like that. I said, well, we'll go back to the restaurant. We're going to talk to the young man and the manager and you. We're going to get together to resolve this matter. When we get there, my son goes into the back.
Were you there?
Yes, ma'am, I was
Were
there.
you? No, just a second. Were you in the back with him?
I was in the back when they got to fighting, but when he went back there, no, ma'am.
When you went to the back of the restaurant, your mother was in the front of the restaurant. Who did you see in the back of the restaurant?
I seen him.
The boy?
Yeah.
And? Did you say anything to him?
No, I did.
Did he say anything to you?
He said, what's up now? And I just walked right past him. And I laughed at him like, man, whatever.
You walked past him, you laughed at him, and then where did you go from there?
I went to go to the manager.
Did you get to the manager?
No, because by the time I got to the fry, he had hit me from behind. And he pushed me, tried to run me through the glass, and I caught myself.
Yes?
So I'm still facing him. By the time I brought myself back out, I didn't know she was there.
So far you didn't break the window?
Yes, I did. My back went through the window.
How could you be face to face, sir, if he pushed you from behind?
See, that's...
So he hit you from behind, but you didn't go into the window.
No, he hit me, and then when I turned around, he rushed me. He ran me into the window.
Uh-huh.
When he did that, I had, got me a little brace, and my back went through the window, but I came back out the window.
Okay. Now, Miss Scroggins.
Yes, ma'am.
You went to the workplace with your son to have a discussion with a manager.
Yes, ma'am.
So, tell me why you didn't say to your son, you stay out here, I'm going to speak to the manager.
Before I can tell him that, he had already went to the back.
How did you get to the store?
I don't live too far from there.
Did you walk or drive?
Walk.
Shh.
I drove.
Well, you drove, but your son walked. Did he walk behind the car or next to the car? How did that work? He said he walked. You said you drove. So did he jog along aside of the car?
No, he was in the car with me.
All right. Did you discuss with your son how you were going to handle this situation?
Yes, I did.
And what did you tell him?
I told him we was going to talk to the manager to resolve this problem because he has to have a job. That's exactly what I told him.
Fine. Did you tell him we're going to go in together and speak to the manager?
We went in together.
But then he left you.
I was standing at the counter.
Yeah?
He went behind to where the manager and stuff.
No, he went behind where the boy was.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shirley Long says she was in a fast food drive-thru when worker Paul Body broke the restaurant's window during a fight. Shirley says the shattered glass injured her and her dog.
Where's the other boy?
He is currently in jail.
For what?
I have no idea. I had to put cases against both of them, and the one was never signed because he is currently in Montgomery County Jail.
Okay. Can I see your bills, please? You still have any embedded glass in your body?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where?
I have it coming out of my left ear. It's in my head still.
You have any photographs?
It had went down into my breast, Your Honor, and it had went up underneath of them.
I don't have to see any more bills.
Okay.
Miss Scroggins.
Yes, ma'am.
You handled this matter all wrong. If your son comes home and says to you he's having some trouble with a guy where he's working, and the trouble started because of him, and if you want to resolve the situation, then you pick up the phone and you call the restaurant, you get the manager on the phone, and you say, we'd like to come over and have a discussion, all of us. I would like to be able to resolve this matter because my son really needs the job. And if at all possible, maybe we can resolve this dispute between the two boys. Does that sound intelligent?
Yes, ma'am.
Instead, right after the argument, when he was hot, because according to him, he was hot, he was angry, right? When he came home?
Yes, ma'am.
He was angry. You put him in the car and you drive over there because the situation was bad enough for the manager to send him home because he was the wise guy. And instead of saying to your son, you sit out here in one of these little tables, I'm going to find the manager, you let him go in the back where you knew the other guy was. Then the other fellow said to him, what are you doing here? He laughs at him because that's what he just said. He laughed at him and he said to him, whatever. That's what you just told me.
So, okay, if somebody say they go kick my, then what I'm supposed to do?
Get another job. Go to another restaurant.
No, I got
It's not the
rights to
only
laugh.
fast food restaurant in town. And you don't mess around with somebody else's girlfriend.
You said anything about me messing around. I said I know her. There's a difference from knowing and messing.
Then what you do is you sit down calmly in your mother's kitchen and say, maybe we can resolve this because I didn't do anything wrong. Let's call my boss and go over there sometime after work when nobody else is around, and maybe the boss will die and this other guy will sit down and I'll tell him it's all a misunderstanding. I didn't do anything with your girlfriend. So, is it both of their faults?
I think it is.
Sure, but the other guy's in jail, so he has to pay the whole thing. Because but for the fact that you drove him over there when he was hot and angry, and he went back there and tormented him a little bit, laughed at him. She got hurt. She's suing you for $3,000. It's nothing. She still got glass in her head. It's probably what you have up here. Solid glass. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't like the way that the guy had come out here and tried to fight with my husband after the court was over.
For him to come out and act like he did, I mean, he's just a kid.
It would have been different if it would have happened to him. If the glass would have gotten bedded into his back, he surely wouldn't have probably been out here threatening my husband if he would have felt what I was feeling.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson, Obligacion versus Rogers. Step forward, please.
16-year-old Tabitha Obligacion and her mother, Katrina Johnson, are suing Tabitha's former friend, 20-year-old food service worker Deshaun Rogers, for chipping her tooth.
You're Tabitha? You're a mother?
Yes.
It is your claim, Tabitha, that the defendant chipped your tooth
Yes.
while you were sort of fooling around at his mother's house. You want him to pay the bill.
Yes.
What were you doing at his house?
We were supposed to go to a party, but we stopped by his house.
So tell me what happened when you got there.
Well, we
Look
were
at
there.
me.
We were there for a few minutes, and then Deshaun took my purse and ran into the restroom. And I went in there to get my purse.
You mean just out of nowhere, he got up and grabbed your purse?
Well, yeah, like he was playing, I guess, and then he grabbed my purse. So he ran into the bathroom. I went into the bathroom after him to get my purse. He threw my purse into the bathtub, and then he closed the door. And then he started spraying me with 409, and then he started wrestling with me. And then the next thing I knew, he bumped my head on the sink, and it chipped my tooth. And the next thing I know, my tooth went through my lip, and I started bleeding. And then when he realized what happened, he stopped wrestling with me, and then he opened the door. And I ran out, and I was bleeding, and I realized I was bleeding. And then I went back to realize that my tooth was chipped. And then I went to go find the other half of my tooth, and then I found it, and then I glued it back on with super glue.
Tell me your version of the events, sir.
What had happened was all in the house playing with water.
What do you mean playing with water?
Was squirting water on each other. And what she did was she reached under the counter, she got my mom's spray. It's wood grain spray. So she ran in the bathroom, was playing around, she sprayed it in my eyes. So I walked out the bathroom, and I walked in the living room where everybody else was sitting, and that's when she ran out afterwards. And I ran outside after. I said, "What's wrong, Tabitha?" She said, "I chipped my tooth on your counter." I said, "How'd that happen?" She said, "I slipped when I was spraying the spray."
Tabitha, you left out the fact that you were all sort of fooling around with water.
We weren't fooling around with water.
Were you fooling around with anything?
No, he started spraying with 409, and I didn't have any 409 before that.
I didn't ask you about the 409. I asked you about whether you were all sort of fooling around when you were in his house. You see why it didn't make sense to me that he would just go and grab your purse from nothing. You were all sitting around waiting for him to change, and he just grabbed your purse and went in the bathroom. So you want to start this again and tell me what you were all doing in the house? Were you there? Step up. Tell me your name.
Nicole.
All right, Nicole. What was going on with the water?
I didn't see that part because I was in the other room.
What were you doing in the other room?
Watching TV, waiting for them to get ready.
So you don't know anything about any water?
Well, I heard them yelling and stuff, but I didn't
What
see
did you
anything.
hear?
I heard her saying stop and let me out the bathroom and stuff like that.
I want you to tell me what happened when you saw her for the first time after she came out of the bathroom.
She was holding her mouth and she pulled me into the backyard and she told me what happened.
What did she tell you happened?
She said that she chipped her tooth while she was horseplaying with him.
Horseplaying? Is that what she said? Is that what she said?
Yes.
That's what I figured.
I wasn't.
Is that what you said to your friend?
No, that's not what I said.
Well, why would she lie to me? Because she's telling me the truth. I chipped my tooth when I was horsing around with Sean. Is that what she said?
Not in those words.
Well, what did she say?
She said she chipped her tooth.
No, you didn't finish the statement.
Well, that's what I remember now.
You told me no less than 60 seconds ago that you came outside and you said I chipped my tooth when I was horsing around with Deshaun. Now you're telling me that was a mistake?
Yes.
Sit down. Now, you want to get back to how were you fooling around with Deshaun?
Well, he got up and took my purse and ran into the bathroom, threw my purse into the bathtub, and then closed the door. So I couldn't get out anyways.
So you had followed him into the bathroom?
Yeah, because he took my purse because I didn't want him looking through it.
Were you laughing?
Was I laughing?
Yeah. With him?
It wasn't a laughing matter.
No, I'm asking you a question. At that point, were you sort of joking around? Give me my purse?
No, because he took my purse, and that wasn't funny to me.
Something doesn't ring true here. Did you ever date him?
No.
So let me see what your dental bills are.
And Deshaun also came to my house because he knew that he had something to do with my tooth being chipped. And he
did.
And he gave me $100, and he also, and Nicole was also there. She did witness this, and she also witnessed him saying that he was going to make more payments because the $100 was not going to just cover the bills.
Absolutely. I absolutely think it was the right thing to do, right?
Yeah,
And tell me why you gave her the $100.
because I felt bad for her.
No, because you felt partially responsible.
Yeah.
Were you there? Step up. Tell me your name.
Dwayne.
Dwayne. Tell me what you saw.
Well, everybody was in the kitchen, like, playing around. Like, I was getting wet with water, too. And them two, they started going towards the back, spraying each other. Both of them was playing around.
What were they spraying each other with?
409 spray. Wood
How many
grain.
spray cans were there?
It was one.
Well, how could they both spray each other? Who had
Like,
the can?
It was like back and forth thing. And I didn't see no purse in the bathroom anywhere.
Wow. How old are you?
16.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Should know better. So should you. But since boys develop more slowly, he's probably about the same mental age as you are. Maybe even a little younger. It's true. You know that. Your daughter is partially responsible for what happened. They were fooling around. Immediately after the incident, that's exactly what she told her friend. Do you understand?
I don't believe that, though, because
I don't care what you believe.
Yeah.
That's not what important what you believe. The only thing that's important is what I believe. Okay. And what I heard initially from her...
That's not what happened, no.
Yes, it is. They were fooling around. I think that he has to pay something towards what happened. He gave her $100. Half of your bills are $590. He gave her $100. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which means he owes you $490. That's the judgment of the court. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Miss Mary, according to your complaint, you loaned the defendant $3,500. You knew him from a previous relationship. You want to tell me when you loaned him the money, what was it for, and where did you get it from?
I loaned him the money in the middle of February. We had known each other about a year and a half prior to. We had been dating. It didn't work out. He couldn't commit. We reconciled at the beginning of the year. He came to me crying about the middle of February, indicating that his life was in danger, that if he didn't have this money, he would be hurt. I trusted him. At that point, he said that he wanted to make this relationship work. I took him for his word. He swindled me.
Where did you get the money from?
It was a tax debt that I owe. I took a loan out on my house.
I just said it was a tax debt. What kind of tax debt?
I owe the IRS money from cashing stock in. I took a mortgage out on my house.
Do you have proof of that?
Yes. He knew I was getting a loan for this money. He came to me right about the time it was about to fund.
Let me see.
Your Honor, that's false. I didn't know anything about the loan until after the fact.
He had made an agreement with me, an oral agreement, that he would pay this back before the 15th.
Just a second. Okay, and what date did he come to you in February?
On the 20th.
And what did he tell you that the money was needed for?
I have no idea. He said that his life was in danger. I
You
took
didn't
him
ask
for his
him?
word. I just saw that he was scared.
And you gave him the money in cash?
Yes. He indicated that was the nature of it.
Your Honor, I do have a
Just a
bank account. I'm able to cash checks.
Just a second. How much was the amount of your tax bill?
$70,000.
Okay. Go.
Your Honor, this first thing I'd like to present this letter, actually, that I have. It shows
A letter from what?
It's a letter, actually, from the plaintiff. It shows a little bit of what her word is, and
Your Honor, I have never mailed him any letters.
Just a minute.
it obviously has her. That's the original there, Your Honor, with her signature at the bottom.
I can't read and listen to you at the same time. Okay, just show this to her. That really has nothing to do with this case.
Absolutely nothing.
Well, that goes to show that her word really means nothing, to tell you the truth, Your Honor. This was not a loan.
Well, tell me what
I
it
had
was,
done
sir. I
work
read
for
your
her.
answer. Tell me what it was.
I had done work for her in the middle of last year. My brother as well was working with me at the time. He was my employee. And we had spoken with her, him and I, at the same time, were present, to do anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 worth of work on her home.
That's a lie.
Skylights, countertop, tile,
Just a
replace a double door in the front entry.
Okay, so you had started to do some work on her house.
That's correct.
When did you start to do the work on her house?
I believe it was July 24th or 25th. We worked there
Of
for 3 days.
2000?
Yes.
And how many days did you work there?
We worked there for 3 days, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
On the third day, we had the job almost completely done, the portion that we were doing, and she said, I'll finish it myself. Had never given us any money for materials besides a $500 check. She had not paid us for our labor,
Just a
which I
second.
had to pay my employee.
She gave you $500.
A check, that's correct, and that
Well,
was
the
in
check you
July of
cashed.
2000.
I'm speaking. She gave you a check for $500, and according to you, you worked there 3 days.
That's correct.
Did you have a contract with her?
We had a verbal agreement.
Did you have a contract with her?
I did not, Your Honor.
Okay. Because no contractor starts a job that says it's between $8,000 and $10,000. When you
She
do
had a list.
I'm speaking. When you do a contract, you say this item is going to cost this and that item is going to cost that. You don't believe that the work that you did in 3 days was $4,000.
No, it was not, but subsequent to me accepting this job, I turned down numerous other jobs because I was going to be at this job for anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks.
You have proof of that?
Not on hand, Your Honor.
Well, that's your defense. That's your defense to this action. So you should have proof. Now you're telling me she just came home one day and said, I don't want you to work on this project anymore.
That's correct, actually, Your Honor. A few days before that, she had told me that she loved me and wanted to be with me. We went to her house that evening. My brother and I spoke with her on doing this work. She had a large list, pulling out bushes, skylights, numerous work around her house that she had just purchased. We told her, okay, we can start in a couple of days. We came by on the Monday of the first part of the week. When we showed up, we asked her to open the garage door so we could unload
So you
materials.
didn't have another job right then?
No. I told her I could be there on Monday.
Just a second. So you were free immediately?
No, I
My
told her I could
statement
help
was
her
you
out.
were free immediately. She spoke to you the week before. You were able to start that Monday. So you were free. You didn't have any other commitments.
At present, I did not at hand. She had asked me first. I had other jobs that I went to. That's the main reason why.
No. My question was, and your response is, you had no other commitments that prevented you from starting her job immediately.
No, I did not.
Okay.
My father had just passed away, so therefore I was still grieving from his death. I had been taking care of him for the first part of that year as well.
Mr. Johnson, pay attention to me. This is about money. This is not about
I
your
have a bill
father's
here as well
unfortunate
that I normally
demise.
write up for customers
Okay?
that I work
now,
for.
don't you understand when my mouth is moving? There's only one voice that I hear.
To apologize, Your Honor.
Good. Now, if you felt that she owed you money in July of 2000, why didn't you sue her?
I had spoken to my attorney on putting a lien on her house, and work picked up at that time, so I just filed the bill away that I had written up for the initial work that we had started.
Then I'd like to see the bill that you say you filled out then in July of 2000.
That's correct, Your Honor.
For the work that you started.
I do believe there's a legal term for this called quantum merit, Your Honor.
You didn't do $4,000 worth of work in 3 days. I know what the legal terms are. Quantum merit means that you are paid for the work that you do.
That's correct.
This is not the work that you did in 2.5 days.
She gave me a check for $500, that is it.
Pay attention. This is not the work that you did in 2.5 days. That's not what your answer is. Your answer is that you gave up other jobs because you had a job that you thought was going to last several weeks. That's your
correct.
defense.
That's correct.
So what are you showing me this bill for $4,000?
That's the work that we started doing. Halfway through that, she decided to tell us, and I'll finish the job myself, because the first day we arrived on the job, she had a new boyfriend there.
Your Honor, the reason that I... Did you remove the countertop?
That's correct.
Did you install a new countertop?
That's correct.
One out of 3.
What do you mean 1 out of 3?
There are 3 countertops. He installed one, gouged the second one, and left the other one standing in my garage.
Just a second. Is it there?
I paid somebody else to correct the job.
That's false, Your Honor. There was one section left not put in, Your Honor, and that was the sink side, and that was the day that she asked us to leave. She would finish the job herself.
I fired him because he verbally assaulted me.
What did he say?
He quoted me that the job would take 3 days, cost about $800. We're talking tile on the floor, kitchen countertops, and a kitchen sink.
The initial job that we had quoted was just the surface.
On the 3rd day, my stove was still not put in its place. The countertops were, my kitchen was not functionable. He kept verbally assaulting me, making rude comments to me. Please
I don't want to hear any interruptions.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Please don't interrupt.
That's a lie. That's a pure lie.
It is not a lie.
Out. Him. Out. And the next time somebody speaks, I'm going to resolve this case. It's not going to be to their satisfaction.
She's a liar. That's a lie.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? There is not to be any discussion between the two of you, and you are to respond to my questions. That's the way I run a courtroom. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janelle Murray says ex-boyfriend Rule Johnson owes for an unpaid loan.
Okay. You fired them.
Yes.
Did he leave a sink there?
No. I bought my own sink.
Okay.
That's false as well, Your Honor.
Show me the bill.
I don't have the receipts. I had given them to her at the time.
You're a contractor. Contractors have bills. Can I see
checks?
Did you buy a sink set, faucet, and plumbing?
I did not. That was to install her old faucet and plumbing with
You
the
didn't
new
do that.
sink.
Just a second. You didn't do that.
No. That was what she called us.
Just answer my question. You didn't do that.
No.
And you didn't buy the sink.
Yes, I did, Your Honor. That's false.
And you have no proof that you bought a sink, right?
I've got my witness, which you asked to leave the courtroom.
Yeah, because he has a big mouth. He doesn't know where he is, and he's not coming back.
Well, when a plaintiff lies, I mean, it's only fair to stand up and say when somebody's a liar.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. That's how I resolve a case when you have a big mouth. Thank you.
Have a nice day, Your Honor.
She may step out.
She couldn't accept the fact that she couldn't have me.
He's obviously very full of himself.
She's been obsessive after my brother. She's stalked him.
Ladies, fair warning.
She's a crazy lady.
Pretty faces and money don't mix.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gilbraith versus Brown. Step forward.
30-year-old electrician Steve Gilbraith is suing his ex-wife, 30-year-old food care supervisor Kristen Brown, for an insurance settlement she received when their marital home burned down.
Mr. Gilbraith, you and the defendant had been married.
Yes, ma'am.
You are now divorced.
Yes, ma'am.
Your claim has to do with some property that was in the marital home. The marital home was destroyed by fire. The defendant was reimbursed for losses in that fire by insurance, and you want to be paid for the stuff that was in the house that belonged to you.
That is correct, ma'am.
Okay. So now I need some dates from you, sir. When were you and the defendant married?
We were married October 7th, 1989, divorced October...
Just a second. I'll ask the questions. When did you separate?
Late 97, 98.
Do you remember the month?
I believe it was in January.
Of 1998. And when you separated, you were living in the home that burned down?
At the time, yes, and then I was asked to move out.
No, just a second. Just answer the question. Don't volunteer. Never volunteer. At the time that you separated, you were living in the house that burned down.
Yes.
The divorce became final when?
On October 29th, 99?
Almost 2 years after you had separated.
Yes.
And 1 month later, the house burned down.
That is correct.
After the final divorce.
That is correct.
Now, what property do you claim, sir, was left in the house when you moved out in January of 1998?
They were personal belongings of mine that the defendant had agreed that I could keep there.
You're volunteering information again. I said, what property did you leave in the house?
This is a list of everything, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Galbraith, between January of 1998 and the time of the divorce in October of 1999, had you gone back to the house at all for any of your property?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What property did you go back for?
Mainly at the time, it was my personal clothing and stuff like that. Things that I had left there were items that I was actually working on remodeling my son's room in the house, my tools and stuff like that. The majority of what I took out was my personal clothing at the time.
Mm-hmm. Now, I see a large document in there. Is that your judgment of divorce?
I have my, the degree of dissolution here also.
I'd like to take a look at it. This says that at the time of your divorce, you and your wife had allocated all property that belonged to each of you.
That's correct.
And your judgment of divorce says that at the time of this agreement, you have decided whose property belongs to whom, and whoever has physical possession of that property now is the owner of that property. Did you know that?
Yes, ma'am.
The husband and wife agree that each party shall retain as his or her own, free and clear of any claims of the other party, all items of household goods and furnishings presently in his or her possession. That's what it says. So, at the time that the house burned down, sir, all the property in her possession was hers.
The power tools that were in the house I was using to, like I say, to remodel my son's house. Those are tools I use every day on my job. The items that was in there were items that we, her and myself, had agreed verbally that she would allow me to keep there.
Then you put it in this agreement. Did you have an attorney?
At the time, no.
Should have. You signed this.
As I said before, we had a dissolution, and it was an agreement between us in the best interest of our children to keep everything. We've been friends for over 20 years. We tried to keep it in the most friendly possible way we could.
That's fine. What I'm saying to you, Mr. Galbraith, is that you keep it as friendly as possible. But when you outline in an agreement all other property, you talk about the house, you talk about the car, your truck, it names the truck, it names the year of the truck, the make of the truck, the model of the truck that you're going to keep. It talks about the car that she's going to keep, that she's going to keep up the insurance. You have to do certain deed transactions. It talks about all of those things. And then it talks about personal property. And if you had any personal property in that home, you'd just as easily say, listen, we have to put in another paragraph and list all this property that I have in the home that belongs to me. That's very easy. Didn't anybody tell you that, sir? Am I the first person who's told you that?
No, ma'am. I just, as I said, I assumed being friends that we were, that I could take her on her word.
Did you give him your word that this was all of his property?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
This list, which was made April of 2001, well after the fire.
That's how long it took me to get all of the records and inventory from the insurance company.
It may be, sir. But you had no insurable interest in the property as of the date of your divorce. Because as of the date of this divorce, you were not the owner of any property that was in her possession. It's a simple legal matter, unless she acknowledges that she was merely holding this property for you. You acknowledge that?
No, ma'am.
However, she knows the tools that were in my son's room and all my stuff that was there in that room was being done for her in regards to the remodel of that home, which I had promised I would finish.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, a fire happened in the home before that.
That may be. But you're not suing under that theory that you were a workman doing renovation in the house. Your tools were there when it burned down, and therefore those tools should be covered by her insurance.
It also says in my agreement any inheritant material that was in the house was also mine.
You're talking about under miscellaneous?
Yes, I had things that was given to me by my deceased mother, and etc.
As to Gilbreth. Don't pull my leg. Okay. The section that you're reading says the parties agree that each shall retain as his or own, free and clear of any claims of the other, all items of clothing and personal effects presently in his or her possession. The parties further acknowledge and agree that neither party shall have any enforcement rights to the other's inheritance or expectancies, and all future inheritances and expectancies shall remain the property of the inheritor, which means that if somebody dies in your family and leaves you money or property, she cannot claim any of that property. That has nothing to do with your power tools.
No, it has to do with quilts that were made by my mother and my grandmother.
You should have gotten them out before 2 years. Those were not power tools. You don't redo your son's room with quilts.
No, but that's things that she had stored.
Mr. Galbraith, this is a very simple case. You were divorced. At the time of your divorce, the judgment's divorce said all property that you each have in your individual possession belongs to each of you individually, free and clear of any claims by the other. You had the opportunity at the time of the divorce to include this list as property that was in the house that you intended to get back, that it was an agreement with the defendant that you would get back.
She knew.
Very simple. I said including in the judgment of divorce. You did not do that. If you did not do that, you had no interest in any property in her home. Your case is dismissed.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
You're Mrs. Bridges?
Yes, ma'am.
And who are you?
I'm Mr. Bridges, David.
Well, you weren't there during the course of this incident that brings us to court today.
No, ma'am.
Is that right? So why don't you have a seat?
Okay.
Tell me your first name.
Brittany.
Brittany, you have a boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Your boyfriend is her stepson.
Yes, ma'am.
Is your boyfriend here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Boyfriend. According to your complaint, you were at the defendant's house. You were having an argument with your boyfriend. The argument got kind of loud. The defendant, his stepmother, came outside. There was some sort of an altercation, and at the end of this altercation, according to you, the defendant burned up all of your CDs.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing for the value of those CDs and also some mental anguish. And she has a rather interesting defense to the CDs, although she acknowledges she burned them, correct?
That's right.
When did this incident occur?
July 3rd.
And you were at the defendant's home.
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing there?
Me and my boyfriend went up there to go swimming.
How long has he been your boyfriend?
For nearly 2 years.
So you know the defendant very well.
Yes, ma'am.
And I assume that you had always had a nice relationship with her.
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened on this particular day when you went over there to go swimming?
Well, me and him got into an argument, and she came out there and was asking, she was in our argument, and...
What did she say?
She was just trying to, ask us what was going on, and we told her, and she was like, well, y'all don't need to be fighting and all this. Then she started getting ill with Rodney. So Rodney...
She started to get what?
Ill, and was just starting to holler at Rodney.
Where was this argument taking place, Brittany?
We were walking down from the pool house when me and him was arguing, going to the house, and then she came outside.
Were you yelling? Were
No,
you
ma'am.
raising your voices?
No, ma'am.
What were you arguing about?
The tanning bed.
Tanning bed?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
We were arguing who was going to get in first. It was stupid.
Okay. So she came out and she started hollering at the boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Her stepson.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And then Rodney just told her that we wanted to leave. So he went to the house and got all his clothes and put them in his car, and her car was parked behind his car, which was in the garage. And it was blocked in, and he asked her, he said, will you move your car? And she said, no, y'all are not leaving. He said, yes, we can leave if we want to. And she said, no, I'd like to see y'all leave. So that time, Rodney just said, look, I'm going to call your mom and see if we can call the police to get my car out of the way. And so we walked over to the side of the house and called the police. And that time, she had walked over there and got in his car and got all of his clothes and my CDs. We didn't know what was going on. Then her granddaughter and grandson came over there and told us that she was burning all of our stuff.
What happened next?
We ran over there, and Rodney kicked over the 55-gallon drum to see if anything was saved, and everything was burned.
Was there a fire in the 55-gallon
Yes,
drum?
ma'am.
What was in the fire?
All his clothes and my CDs.
So what happened after you saw your stuff burning?
Well, she was yelling at me, trying to fight me.
What do you mean try to fight you?
She told me when we went up to the fire, she was like, get off my property, and we were like, okay, and then she was chasing me out into the road, trying to fight me for I don't know what reason.
All right, Miss Kimbrough, let me hear your version of these events.
Okay, they were out in the yard fighting. First, my husband went out, and he couldn't stop them, so I went out, and they had went back up to the pool. And I asked them what happened, and Brittany said it was her fault. And I said, Rodney, no matter whose fault it is, you don't need to be talking to her like that, and you don't need to be cussing. Our neighbors...
Is that what he was doing? He was cursing?
Very badly. Both of them were cursing. And I told them not to do that because our neighbors had called and could hear them, and our 2 grandchildren was there and heard it. So they came running back down to the house, and Rodney went into the bathroom, got his clothes out of the dryer, and he said he was leaving. But now his car was in my carport because it wouldn't run. It wouldn't even crank. So I knew he couldn't go nowhere, but I did ask him to leave. And my daughter Summer had came up, and something had happened earlier that day that I don't really know, but Brittany and Rodney and Summer were arguing. Well, when she came up, they started again. And I was trying to stop them, and when Summer walked over, Rodney pushed her back, and then when he pushed Summer, I started over there, and he just, pushed me. And when Brittany was cussing us, Rodney was standing there with his hands out like this, letting her cuss. And I just said, would you please call your mother to come get you, Brittany? So Rodney looked at his daddy and said something really bad. And I don't know if, I should say that, but it was really said no effing body could whip him. And then he looked at me and he told me something really bad that it's hard to say, but he took off running when he said it. And I got mad when he said that because it hurt me because I'd really been good to Rodney.
How long have you been married?
We've been married 13 years, but now we've raised Rodney most of those years he's been with us. And I grabbed his clothes, what few he had gotten out of the dryer, and I took them up to the barn and I burned them. And the CDs that was in there, I didn't see those when I grabbed the clothes. They just got mixed up because they was in the front seat of the car. And when I threw them over, I saw the case. It was a very small little CD case. And they were not Brittany's CDs.
How do you know that?
Well, they were Rodney's, and they was, in his car.
How do you know that?
Well, they had his name on them.
She says that they were her CDs.
No,
but in a case that had his name on it.
It said Rodney Loves Brittany on the case. It didn't have just his name on it. I've got his CD case here, and I've got the CDs that was burned, the cases for them, what I had.
She had not said anything about the CDs at all until later that night when her stepdad called me and asked me for $600 to pay for the CDs.
I've got the burnt CDs too.
No, I believe that they were her CDs.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This one is called Mo Thugs, DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Did you ever hear of Barry Manilow?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Brittany Manis says her boyfriend's stepmother, Jackie Kimbrough, burned her CDs.
What's important is, Miss Kimbrough, you're the mother. You acted out of anger when you burned the stuff. And certainly I'm not excusing young kids who were outside in front of your house embarrassing you in front of your neighbors, cursing. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for you, nor your husband, to become involved. According to Brittany, you had always had a pleasant relationship. So you think she was just having a bad day, or were you and Rodney outside?
We weren't cursing.
No?
No, ma'am.
Well, what do you think Mr. Kimbrough came outside for?
We weren't cursing. We might have been raising our voice, but we wasn't.
Okay, so now we're raising voices.
We
So
wasn't
first you told me you weren't raising voices, now you're raising voices. Did Rodney say something to his dad that was nasty?
Well, he said it to her,
He
to
said
Jackie.
it to both of us. He said
He
it to
hugged his
Roger.
dad and said it to Jackie.
Were you outside when he said that?
Yes, ma'am.
There were neighbors who lived close by?
I don't know how close. I don't know if there's somebody that lives right next door, but I know somebody lives in the trailer down the road.
There was a neighbor sitting directly across the house from me. His trailer sits in front, and he was sitting in his yard.
There isn't a question in my mind, Miss Kimbrough, that these CDs belong to Brittany. How many CDs were in your case?
31.
31?
Yes, ma'am.
How large was this case?
It was about this big, but we had them back to back, like 2 or 3 CDs in one little packet.
How do you know there were 31 CDs in there?
Because I've got all the CD cases that I had in there. Most of them.
What do you mean most of them?
That's just most of the CD cases that I haven't lost. But I've written down all the names of the CDs.
Let me see them.
It was a very small CD case.
I think, Miss Kimbrell, you were probably so angry.
CD case. And here's the list.
You didn't much care what the CD case looked like. You just made a big grab
I was
for
very upset.
You just made a big grab for everything.
Here's the list of the CDs.
These are the cases that are now empty. Is that right?
Ma'am.
So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 empty cases. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. That's the ones that I could find.
Now, those are the only ones you're going to get. Now, you have a bill for these? How much were they?
We found the approximate amount for the 31 that was in there.
Forget 31. You have proof of these, 14. Let me see what kids listen to. 18 rock hard hits, 504 boys, B-O-Y-Z.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Booty Mix 4.
They've never been allowed to listen to them at my house.
This one is called Mo Thugs.
That has
Some
two
guys
CDs.
look like I sentenced a couple of years ago. Dr. Dre.
Yeah, that's right.
Is he a physician?
Not really.
Master P. How here are 4 normal-looking girls.
Destiny's Child.
Very nice-looking girls. Normal. DMX. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. What happened to Benny Goodman?
He was replaced by Bootleg Booty.
Bootleg Booty. Oh, Master P again. Who's the big fan of Master P?
Me.
You are.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever hear of Barry Manilow?
No, ma'am.
Never heard of Barry Manilow?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, if you're asking me about the worth of these albums, since you don't have receipts for them, right?
We don't usually keep our receipts for CDs.
How much do they cost?
On the average, about $15 a CD.
$210. 14 times 15. That's the average. What are you doing sitting over there? Who did you come to court with today?
Brittany?
Your Honor, I'll tell you the reason Rodney's here today is because he was threatened by David and Tammy to come to court, or at the time this happened, Brittany was 15 and Rodney was 19. And if Rodney will admit to telling the truth, this is what was said. They said that they was going to get him for a statutory rape if he didn't come to court and be a witness for Brittany. And said they'd never let him see Brittany again.
Your Honor, that is not true.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Brittany Manis says her boyfriend's stepmother, Jackie Kimbrell, burned her CDs.
Okay. On the CDs, you're going to get $210. Forget your mental anguish.
My bathing suit.
What?
My bathing suit top of my picture, she still hasn't returned.
Do you have any of that stuff?
I have her bathing suit top, but she came in the house and got everything else.
No, ma'am, I did not
that
go in
belonged
their
to
house.
her.
Whatever. I don't have anything else in the complaint about anything else. You have her bathing suit top? Give her a bathing suit top. Okay. As far as your lawsuit, which seeks damages for mental anguish of $1,500 because you saw your CDs burn, you better go and wash out your mouth. And when you learn not to cuss at adults, then we'll talk about mental anguish. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They had a pretty good argument, and I went out to break it up, and like I said, they just kind of turned on us.
I don't care what they said to them or cussed or whatever. They're adults and they're children.
I just hope everybody can get along now.
सो हेलो गाइस, यहाँ पे आ चुके अपने लोग एक और न्यू गेम प्ले में वैलोरेंट के। यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं ये हमारा कीबोर्ड है गेमिंग वाला आरजीबी, ये हमारा नॉर्मल माउस है वायरलेस वाला। चलो इसका आरजीबी ऑन कर लेते हैं पहले। तो ये हमने आरजीबी अपना ऑन कर लिया और ये देख सकते हो हमारा वैलोरेंट। इसका मेरा 65% चार्ज है लैपटॉप, लाइट वगैरह सब आ रही है फ़िलहाल। और अभी इसे ऑन कर लेते हैं, ठीक है। इसे ऑन करते अभी खेलते हैं थोड़ा गेम प्ले वैलो का। कल तो वैलो कर नहीं पाए थे नेट की वजह से, वाईफाई के लिए मैंने कर दिया है। आज से या कल तक हो जाएगा वाईफाई, ठीक है। पेमेंट वगैरह सब कर दिया है, कल तक वाईफाई हो जाएगा कंप्लीट, या तो आज शाम को ही हो जाएगा या कल हो जाएगा, देखते हैं बाकी। और फिर नेट के तो कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं है। चलो भाई जल्दी जल्दी ऊपर हो जाए यार, ये वेलो ओपन नहीं हो रहा है, थोड़ा सा स्लो है क्योंकि अभी अभी जस्ट मैंने ओपन करा ना वेलो। हाँ हो गया, चलो इसलिए थोड़ा सा टाइम ले रहा है ये ओपन होने में। ओके गाइस, प्लीज़ लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब सभी लोग कर देना, कोई भी मिस नहीं। ये हमारा 8 GB कीबोर्ड एकदम मस्त वाला है, इतने सस्ते में इससे बढ़िया तो मुझे नहीं लगता कोई कीबोर्ड मिल सकता था। ये काफ़ी अच्छा कीबोर्ड है, हालांकि इसकी वायर क्वालिटी थोड़ी सी लूज़ है लेकिन अच्छा है, कीबोर्ड अच्छा है ओवरऑल। इतने में भाई कॉम्बो कीबोर्ड माउस का गेमिंग वाले मिलना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है। अभी देख सकते हैं ये हमारा जो थीम है सेज और इसका, अभी देख लेते हैं। यूजी वह डी खेलना है, ठीक है। अभी अपने डीएम लगाते हैं, एक डीएम लगा देंगे गाइस और फटाफट ऑर्डर लेके बैठ जाएंगे एक जगह। करो करो गाइस, लाइक और सब्सक्राइब सभी लोग कर देना, कोई भी मिस नहीं, फटाफट सभी का लाइक और सब्सक्राइब होना चाहिए भाई। चलो स्टार्ट हो जाए, लेट हो रहा है भाई स्टार्ट, बहुत लेट, 15 सेकंड हो गए अभी तक नहीं हुआ। और बताओ सब लोग कैसे हो एंड कौन सा मतलब टीयर पे हो आप, मतलब कौन सी रैंक है आपकी, सिल्वर ब्राउन आयरन कौन सी रैंक है इस बार? एजेंट देखते हो कौन सा मिला है, मुझे मिला है ओमन। भाई ओमन तो बढ़िया है, ओमन बढ़िया है भाई, ओमन बढ़िया एजेंट है, बहुत बढ़िया। अब ये देख लेते हैं, ऑर्डर अगेन से मैंने ले लिए और ऑर्डर लेने के बाद एक कोने में बैठना है मुझे, यहीं से बंदे आएंगे वैसे तो यहीं बैठ के मारूंगा। जल्दी जल्दी गाइस, सभी का लाइक होना चाहिए, कोई भी मिस नहीं, लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब सभी का। ये भाई दिखा ही नहीं मुझे। सर्वाइव, आई सर्वाइव। चलो गाइस देख लेते हैं यहाँ पे। अरे यार इसका हेड लग गया, अच्छा मारा। ठीक है जल्दी जल्दी आओ जो भी आ रहे हो। हाँ ये 70 तो इसको भी पड़ गया था भाई। मेरा नेट जा रहा है क्या? अबे यार 144। पता नहीं बंदे इधर से आएंगे कि नहीं आएंगे, लेकिन देख लेते हैं। आने तो चाहिए यार वैसे एक आध बंदा इधर। चलो फिनिक्स तो गया, और कोई? अबे यार ये मार गया। अभी मेरे कितने किल है? एक ही किल हो पाया है, चलो कोई नहीं, इधर से आएगा कोई ना कोई। बहुत अच्छे, थैंक यू। अभी कोई और आना चाहिए इधर, जल्दी जल्दी आओ भाई जो भी आ रहा है फटाफट, और मैं कैम करके उस सबको फिनिश करूंगा जो भी बंदे आएंगे। ओमन के ऑर्डन के सामने कोई टिक सकता है यार? 2 किल हो जाएंगे मेरे। मेरे साउंड नहीं आ रहा है प्रॉपर, ईयरबड नहीं लगाया हूँ, और थोड़ा सा मुझे गेम का साउंड चाहिए ऑडियो मतलब रिकॉर्डिंग में, इसलिए मेरे को ईयरबड नहीं लगाने भाई। अभी देख लेते बंदे किधर है। बहुत अच्छे, थैंक यू किल देने के लिए साइफर। अभी कोई और आया, एक और आया, जल्दी जल्दी आओ भाई। अबे यार मैं जल्दबाजी कर दी, थोड़ी जल्दबाजी कर दी मैंने। आ जाए, 3 किल मेरे हो रखे हैं, कोई और आ जाए। ये इधर कोई बैठा होगा पक्का। अबे यार अच्छा एंगल था मेरे पास, बहुत अच्छा एंगल था, पर मैंने मिस कर दिया। ये एंगल भी काफ़ी अच्छा है लेकिन। ओके जल्दी जल्दी लाइक और सब्सक्राइब सभी लोग। चलो, अरे यार मैंने मिस कर दिया। अबे पीछे से आ जाते हैं भाई, बंदे पीछे से आ जाते हैं। अब इसको आ ही जाने दो, जो भी आएंगे उनको पेलेंगे यहीं से। जल्दी जल्दी आओ, जल्दी जल्दी। कहाँ जा रहे हो जैक? अरे यार 1 किल मेरा उसमें खत्म, 5 किल मेरे हो गए। एंड केजे ओनली बॉडी विद सेरिफ लॉल। छोड़ दिया था। कोई तो आएगा। अबे यार इधर से आ गया। आओ जल्दी जल्दी आओ। अबे यार ये फिर से मार दिया। इधर से आएगा, साइफर आएगा क्या फिर से? अबे इसको लोकेशन बता दी कीजे को, इसको लोकेशन बता दी भाई। एक तो किल मिल जाएगा, मतलब हर पोजीशन पे एक किल तो उठाना है। टारगेट ओनली 1 किल। एक तो गया। अबे यार नहीं उठा पाया। अबे इसको भी नहीं उठा पाया। इजी किल थे यार। चलो एक किल मिला। एक किल ओनली। लोकेशन तो ये भी अच्छी है वैसे। जल्दी जल्दी लाइक कर दो। एंड यहाँ पे देख लेते हैं एक और मैच स्टार्ट। 4 3 2 1 फाउंड। चलो भाई इस बार कौन सा एजेंट मिला है मुझे? इस बार मिला है चैम्बर। चैम्बर बढ़िया है भाई। चैम्बर का आर्ट यूज कर पाना बहुत अच्छा है। ज़्यादा बंदे नहीं आए इसमें क्या पता नहीं, शायद से बंदे नहीं आए। इधर बैठूंगा आराम से। चलो एक गया। और कौन है भाई? मुझे तो वैसे गाली पड़ती होंगी। चलो किधर है बंदे? इधर ही है, आएगा। मेरे पे नहीं आया। लॉल, मेरे पे कैसे नहीं आया ये बंदा? आ जा जल्दी से। ये क्या देख रहा था? मतलब मेरे को समझ नहीं आया। कुछ तो देख रहा था। भाई ये जगह अच्छी है बहुत, एम बहुत अच्छा मिल जाता है इस पे। हाँ जल्दी जल्दी लाइक करो सब लोग। चैम्बर विद ओडेन तगड़ा है। आ नहीं रहा है कोई भाई। इतना तो अच्छा एंगल होल्ड करके बैठा हूँ। लगता थोड़ा ओपन जाना पड़ेगा। एज वेल लुकिंग। ओ भाई चलो बढ़िया। फ्री किल। अबे यार 114 तो उसको भी दिया था। जो ऊपर भाग गया। भाई इस एंगल होल्ड करना बहुत मुश्किल पड़ रहा है। दोनों साइड मुझे देखना पड़ेगा अच्छे से। अब बोला ना, दोनों साइड देखना पड़ेगा। ज्यादा ही मुश्किल काम है कुछ। आया कोई? कोई तो आएगा। चलो बढ़िया। चलो बढ़िया। ये चलो मैं किल तो उठा लिया, कुछ भी को किल उठा लिया, बाकी बात बाद में। किल जरूरी है, मिड से कोई ना कोई तो आएगा इधर। साउंड नहीं आ रहा है किसी का भी। अबे आ जाओ जल्दी से। सच में वरीम इतने आराम आराम से मारेगा? इतने आराम से मारेगा तो कैसे काम चलेगा? अरे ये तो भाई इसका अलग ही है। क्या कर रहा है फिनिक्स? कुछ भी मतलब, कुछ भी ऐसे ही अंधा ही चला जाएगा। जल्दी जल्दी आओ, जल्दी जल्दी। कोई और आया? अबे स्नाइपर चला रहे हो? अबे ये कहाँ से आ जाता है? इधर से आया। जल्दी जल्दी आओ, जल्दी। चलो हटो, साइड हटो। सोलो S1 क्या मतलब? अच्छा एक को बुला रहे हैं। अबे इसको लोकेशन पता थी एग्जैक्ट, इसको एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन पता थी। 10 किल्स चाहिए। मेरे को ज़्यादा जल्दी मैच नहीं खत्म हो रहा है यार। मैच बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो जा रहे हैं यार। मेरे कितनी किल है? 8 ही है, 10 तो कर ही लो। आओ जल्दी जल्दी आ जाओ। इधर तो साउंड भी आ रहा है, इधर देख लेता हूँ। इसको देखो, इसको देखो, इसको देखो, उसको अंधा ही देखता हुआ जा रहा है। 10 के लोग हैं मेरे। अभी एक्स्ट्रा में जो मिल जाए, एक्स्ट्रा में अब जो मिल जाए। 1 किल और मिल जाए। अरे जाओ। और कोई? और कोई? और जल्दी आओ जो भी आ रहे हो, फटाफट। टाइम खत्म हो रहा है, 2 किल रह रहे हैं, जल्दी आओ। अबे इस बार मार दिया। कंटिन्यू मारा है, कंटिन्यू। फटाफट फटाफट फटाफट। असिस्ट मिल गया, चलो खत्म यार। एक और लगाना पड़ जाएगा। ये सब 20 मिनट में मुझे 3 डीएम खेलने पड़ेगा। ठीक है भाई, 20 मिनट तो 3 डीडीएम। सर्दी हो गई यार। कितने लोग ऐड है फ्रेंड लिस्ट में? पता नहीं भाई कितने लोग ऐड है। चलो स्टार्ट हो गया एक और मैच। अभी देख लेते हैं इधर। दूंगा एंड इस बार आइसो मिला है, ठीक है चलेगा ये भी। इसमें वैसे तो गन चेंज करके खेलने का मन है, लेकिन चलाएंगे ऑर्डिनरी। ऑर्डिनरी चलाएंगे क्योंकि ऑर्डिनरी सही रहती है। नीड बम फॉर कॉम्पी। अंधे क्यों घुसे जा रहे हो? देख के ही चल लो कम से कम। सिल्वर गोल्ड प्लेट, अच्छा अच्छे प्लेयर चाहिए। अच्छा इसने आगे दोबारा मार दिया। Anyone want to play compy? No. अभी जल्दी जल्दी आओ। यस ये आ रहा है। चेस्ट पे तो मैंने फोकस ही नहीं किया था पिछले में। अरे रे वो भाग गया। ज्वाइन। अबे आओ जल्दी जल्दी आओ, कहाँ रह गए? कैंप ही करते रहोगे, आओगे जल्दी जल्दी। क्या कैंपर है? आ जाओ फटाफट फटाफट आओ फटाफट। सॉरी आई एम आयरन 1। वार्म अप चल रहा है अभी। अच्छा ओके, तो बात ही नहीं है। हर बार मुझे एजेंट चेंज करके दे रहे हैं। ठीक है। नेट अटक रहा है क्या मेरा? शायद से मेरा नेट अटक रहा है। फटाफट आओ, लाइक करो लाइक करो। 200 बुलेट मेरे पास है एक्स्ट्रा में, मतलब 2 मैगजीन अलग रखी है, एक इसमें लोडेड है। टोटल 300 बुलेट है। 300 बुलेट में तो खत्म ही हो जाएंगे सब। फिनिक्स में क्यों दिया जाता है भाई? इतना नूब है कि क्या बोले। कोई आ नहीं रहा इधर। आ जाओ भाई फटाफट। जल्दी जल्दी आओ, जल्दी जल्दी जल्दी। फटाफट। पिस्टल लेके मारने का मन तो है, लेकिन छोड़ो ऑर्डिन चलाएंगे। अरे यार 76 76 असिस्ट मिल गया। ठीक है, और कोई? एक और एक और एक और आ जाओ। नियॉन अंधा ही घुस रही है। अरे यार मैं हाथ हटा दिया था माउस से। हाथ नहीं हटाता तो अभी तो हो जाता। हाँ जल्दी जल्दी। अरे यार क्या करा मैंने? ये गन चेंज कर दी। सच में बुरा लगा साइफर और साइफर के चैम्बर। अंधे ही घुसे चले आओगे तो कौन ही रोकेगा? अरे यार वो अलग ही देख रहा था, वो कुछ अलग ही था। ये फुदक ले और फुदक ले। और कोई आ रहा है इधर? इधर से ही आएगा वैसे तो। अरे इसको लोकेशन पता थी, पक्का से लोकेशन पता थी। मैं नीचे बैठता हूँ, आएगा जो भी खत्म है। आया कोई? जल्दी जल्दी आओ, जल्दी जल्दी। आजा इधर, कहाँ रह गए? एक बार नीचे। अरे इसने साइड से मार दिया। क्या एम लगा के खेलते हैं? ये इधर से आएगा क्या? देखते कोई ना कोई इधर कोई पक्का आएगा, 200% कोई ना कोई आएगा। चल अभी मेरे से 3 किल है, हालांकि मैं इन 4 से तो आगे ही चल रहा हूँ। टॉप वाले के 16। नींद आने लगी लेकिन ठीक है। टॉप वाले के 16 चल रहा है। अरे आ जाओ भाई जल्दी जल्दी। अभी मेरा FPS आ रहा है 210 और टोटल फ्रेम टाइम है 4.2 ms। ठीक है, पिंग थोड़ा सा हाई चल रहा है, बस ज़्यादा दिक्कत नहीं है।